Hyderabad. You all are from Chennai? Chennai, local. All are local. Outside Chennai? Where? Coimbatore. Oh, I was thinking to come to Coimbatore. Then I missed it. Means my classes was also scheduled there. Then I preferred Chennai. Miss date was clashing. Start. Live started. Now what I need to do for break? I forgot. This is what? Huh? Only transition and mic. This mic.
Yes, sir.
This. I will just put it. Okay. Now you start. You started now. Chal. Very good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. How are you all? Very fine. Super. Super se upar. Till now upper. He's super only. It's super or super se upar? Just try to understand. CA examination is what type of examination that we need to understand. Correct now? It is a professional examination. You understood. You know about the professional. We are professional. You are going to become professional. Once you become CA, you will be known by chartered accountant. In your name, a prefix will be added as CA. Correct now? It is a professional examination. Everyone knows that. But we need to understand what is the requirement of ICAI. If we don't know the requirement of ICAI and we are studying without knowing that requirement, it is no use now. For example, you born in a family. So family has some rules and regulations, some customs that you need to follow now. And if you are not following that custom, what the family head person will do? They will throw you out of the family. Am I right or not? They will keep you for some time being, for some attempt. Then after that some attempt, they will throw you out. So you need to understand what is the rules, what is the custom of ICAI. That we need to understand. Got this point? One thing is clear that it is an examination where we are going to become expert. Am I right or not? Expert in all subject, whatever subject you have. Yes or no? But for becoming expert, they say only 50%. Yes or no? Means the requirement is not 90%. You will become CA, means you will pass CA inter examination if you score 50% or more than 50% in an aggregate. Means requirement is only 50%, and I think that once you are getting more than 50% or 50%, you are eligible to come to CA final. Am I right or not? CA final also the criteria remain same. Means they don't have much expectation from you. Means when I say higher expectation means what? Higher expectation means 90%, 95%. But that is not the expectations now. Am I right or not? Expectation is only 50%. So if the expectation is 50%, you only say exam is easy or tough? Think once and say. Means out of 100 you score in all paper 50%. The examination is easy or tough? You only say think and say. Don't think from others' point of view. Think from your point of view. Because you have written CA foundation exam. Before that you have written your class 11, class 12 examination. You have passed that examination now. And I think the expectation was more there. Am I right or not? Quite possible the expectation might be 70%, 80%, 90% even. Many of you have scored 90% also. Am I right or not? I will not ask who have scored, who have not scored. But the expectation was higher than ICAI. Am I right or not? So you proved there, you made the expectation, and then you came to CA foundation. In CA foundation also you made the expectation, the criteria was 50%. I don't know if some of you might be direct entry, but let's say direct entry is equal to CA foundation, so you made the expectations. Okay, got this point? So you are, every time you are proving whatever is the expectation, you are proving that. Here the expectation is 50%, you will prove that. Now my question is that if the expectation is only 50%, you only think, don't think from others' point of view, think from your point of view, your ability, your own ability. Can't you score 50% in any examination? I am asking question. There is question mark. Yes or no? Yes, na. You can score na. Given a chance, you can score or na. Of course, for that we need to study. But after studying, can't you score 50%? Yes, we can score. So loud bolo. In loud. Yes, we can score. 100% we can score 50%. Yes or no? So what is the requirement of ICAI? ICAI says we have a set syllabus. That syllabus you need to read. And if you are not going through that syllabus, then it's your mistake. Yes or no? Means if there are 45 questions in a chapter, and if you have not done that 45 questions, then that is your mistake. Then why you are blaming others? If you are not able to understand any question in any chapter and questions come from there, so that you need to understand that yes, we need to study that and we need to understand that. Once again, objective is not 90%. So even though if you are not able to understand one chapter or two chapters, chalega na. We are not supposed to fear about that. We are not supposed to create a negative situation about that. I'm not saying that don't do overall studies. But once again, the criteria is only 50%. So fear should not be there. You know, most of the students, why they don't pass in examination? Because of fear. That fear was not in class 11 or 12. Try to imagine that examination. The expectation was 90%, but the fear was 0%. Yes or no? That fear was not there. Why there was no fear? Why there was no fear? Because to whomever you ask whether you pass the examination, everyone used to say, yes, we passed the examination. So you used to think that he has passed, so I will also pass. Fear was not there. But in CA Foundation, CA Inter, CA Foundation I am keeping aside. Coming to CA Inter, once you are into CA Inter, now whomever you are asking, correct now, more than 50% students are saying that we are not able to pass the examination, and the fear comes from there. But why you are asking? The question is, why you are asking others? He has not studied, he has not fulfilled the requirement of ICAI, so he will not pass now. Now, based on his marks, based on his ability, why you are trying to judge yourself? And the fear comes from there. You start judging your ability based on the marks of others. Yes or no? It happens or not? I don't know you have written any attempt or not. I don't know which attempt you are writing. I will not ask also, because I am not for that. For me, the next attempt, I hope everyone is writing in May 2025. That is your last attempt. It may be your first attempt or any attempt, but that should be your last attempt without any fear. Without any fear. If the fear is not there, you will 100% pass. Are you able to understand? Because for everyone the syllabus is same. For everyone question paper is same. And everyone have passed CA Foundation examination. So all are same. All are same, no? Are you able to understand what I am saying? There may be some exceptional student. So we are not there to compete with them, na? There may be some exceptional student. So if the result is suppose 30%, so let's say 1%, 2% might be exceptional student. Okay. Leave them apart. But balance all are same. Balance all are same. Those who are passing the examination, those who are not passing the examination, all are same. It depends upon how you are studying. Whether you are studying as per ICAI requirement or not. Okay. Means someone says the result is 30% or 25% or 20%. Fear comes from that. If I will say in the next attempt, the result is going to be, suppose I am ICAI and I announced the result is 20%. So fear will come now. But why the fear will come? You are studying now. You are studying or not? Bolo yes or no? If you are not studying, then why? There is no fear only. If you are studying, you will be in that 20%, because 20% or 30% are only studying as per ICAI requirement. The question is that are you following ICAI requirement? If yes, you will pass. If yes, you will pass. If you are not following ICAI requirement, then there will be a question mark. You may or may not pass. AS29 will be applicable. We need to create provision of contingent liability. Got this point? What I am saying? Without wasting much your time, we start our session. So I am here for 6 days. In the 6 days, I will try to cover entire syllabus. I will try to cover. Correct? Not possible, but then also we will try to cover. You also know not possible to cover entire syllabus in 6 days. Yes or no? What will be our plan? Planning will be that entire concept will be given. We'll focus on examination point of view. It does not mean we'll not do all the concept. But I know as per my experience what are the focus wala point. So that focus wala point I will give more importance. Got this point? I have some expected list of questions. Out of that expected list of questions, we'll do some questions. Then balance you do. In the next day, you come to me, you ask me any doubt if there, but doubt will not come, I know. I know doubt will not come because I am teaching you. Because I have confidence on me. I have full confidence on me. So you should also have full confidence on your ability. Correct? Never say that you are not going to become CA. Never say CA is complicated. Once you say CA is complicated, CA will become super complicated. Correct? If someone is saying CA is complicated, say for you it is complicated, for me it is easy. I will pass. Okay? Correct. So what is the plan? I think you have gone through or not. This is my plan. The day one I will try to cover this. Today we started late, so I don't know how much I will complete. Day one, it is not Ind AS by mistake, it is typo mistake. It is AS10, AS26, AS13. Then AS2, AS16, AS12, AS28. This is our first day one requirement. Correct? Then day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6. You can see all entire syllabus is covered. Okay? Then I have some expected list of questions also that I think you have not received it. So this is expected you have received. Okay. So you go to my Telegram channel. Not now. Now to I am with you now. Correct. So if you know Telegram, so you know go to Telegram channel. I'm just showing. Here it is CA Chiranjeev. This is my Telegram channel. You can see everything is given. I think it is not connected with Wi-Fi. It is not connected with Wi-Fi, so the last message is not showing. Okay, I don't know the Wi-Fi password of this room. Okay, you know, you don't know. Okay, so it will be covered. The last message of this Telegram channel is for CA intern only. In that, expected question has been given. You can download from that. So whenever I am doing some questions from there, so suppose there are 10 questions. Out of that, 6 questions we have done in the class. 4 questions you are supposed to do by your own. Understood? So you'll go home and you'll sleep or you'll study. Study. So in that study hours, do that balance questions. Okay? For every chapter, whatever we have covered. And if you're able to do it, means confidence is coming. And if there is some doubt, you can ask me in the next day. Got this point? Yes, sir. Chalo. So let us start with Accounting Standard 10. So today we'll take only Accounting Standard. Now for CA Inter, you also know, I also know, Accounting Standard is very important. A coverage of 50 marks will be from only Accounting Standard. However, the balance chapter, for example, consolidation, amalgamation, that is also based on Accounting Standard only. But we say it is a separate chapter. However, amalgamation, you know, it is based on AS14. Consolidation is based on AS21. So that is also Accounting Standard, but chalo theek hai, that will be a separate chapter. So apart from that big chapter, we have some small Accounting Standard. First, let us cover that. First, not today, we will take only this some Accounting Standard. Okay. Now, normally what I have seen, student at CA intermediate don't focus on accounting standard, and because of that reason, they are not able to score high marks in examination. Because once we start accounting standard, you think accounting standard is theory. It is not theory. Your entire accounting is based on accounting standard. Means in simple journal entry, I will say debtor account, debit to sales. When you started your first class of accounts, I think the most common journal entry is what? Debtor account, debit to sales. This journal entry is based on what? AS9. This journal entry is based on AS9. So if you don't know AS9, can you pass that journal entry? You can't pass that journal entry. So journal entry, whatever you are doing, that is based on AS. For example, you purchase property, plant and equipment. So you pass the journal entry PP account, debit to cash. So that journal entry is based on what? AS10. So AS10 is not theory. Your entire practical solution is based on what? Accounting standard. Till CA foundation, you have been given journal entry without giving the logic behind that. Only the rules was given. These are the rules of framing journal entry. Debit what comes in, credit what goes out. For which account? Real account. The nominal account, what is the rule? Debit all expenses, credit all income. Income include gains, expense include loss. Okay. There is one more account, na? Personal account. Personal account, what is the rule? Debit the receiver, credit the giver. This is we call golden rules. The entire journal entry is based on this rule. This is rule. This is not standard. This is only a rule for framing journal entry. However, I hope you might be knowing about modern rules also. Modern rules means what? If there is an asset, increase in asset will be debited, decrease in asset will be credited. For liability, increase will be credited, decrease will be debited. For income, increase will be credited, decrease will be debited. For expense, increase will be debited, decrease will be credited. For capital, increase will be credited, decrease will be debited. Means you know, correct. Which you prefer? You prefer for journal entry golden rules or modern rules? Modern rules. So I also prefer what? Modern rules. So we both are same. So I am CA. You will also become CA. Correct now? Are bolna rahe? Correct. So we need to follow what? Modern rules, that is more easy to apply. More easy to apply. Understanding that you have also understood what? Golden rules. Golden rules also you have understood na? Correct. It is more easy to apply. So we follow. Means a chartered accountant will always follow modern rules. Let us start AS10. Now AS10. What is AS10? Property, plant and equipment. We call it प्यार से PP. अच्छा, you know थोड़ा Hindi? No, it's full English I need to say. But by default some Hindi will come. Try to understand my emotions. Okay. By default it will come because mother tongue na kya kare. Okay. So some will come, but explanation I will do fully in English. Explanation will not be in Hindi. Chalega? But by default some words might come. Okay, sir? Okay. So what is the meaning of PP? PP means what? No, that is the full form. I am asking meaning. PP are tangible item. Tangible item are which item? Tangible item are which item? Which you can see, feel. Means you are tangible because I can feel you. Huh? I can feel you by touching. So let come. Don't come. I don't want to feel. Okay. Means he's saying simple. But this touch, feel is bakwas definition. Tangible item are those items which are physical substance. Which are physical substance that become tangible item. Okay? So PP are tangible item. But all tangible items are not PP. It means there are two conditions. How many conditions? Two conditions. If that two conditions satisfied, then any tangible item will become property, plant and equipment. The first condition is what? It is held for use in production of goods or supply of goods or services, or for rental to other, or for admin purpose. This is the first condition. So it is used for production or supply of goods or services, or for rental to other, or for administrative purpose, and which are expected to be used for more than one accounting period. One accounting period, of course, we do accounting for how many period? 12 months. So it is expected to use for more than 1 year, we can say more than one accounting period. If both these conditions satisfy, then that tangible item will become PP. Can you give me some examples of tangible item which is not PP? Stock. Stock means inventory. Inventory is the correct term. Okay, once you come to CA Inter, don't use stock. Use what? Inventory. AS2. Then AS2 will be applicable. So inventory are tangible item, but that is not used for production or supply or for rent or for admin purpose. First condition not satisfied. Therefore, inventory is outside the scope of this chapter. For inventory, we don't apply AS10. But suppose, just try to understand, if I am a dealer of machinery, so machinery will be PP for me or inventory for me? Inventory for me. So any item can be inventory for me, any item can be PP for me. For me, projector is what? Projector is what? PP. Camera is what? Because that is used for providing services. That is used for providing services. Correct. Now there are some clarification. One doubt will come, so there are some item which are tangible item which can be used for any other purpose which is not these three purpose. For example, for marketing purpose, for accounting purpose, for advertisement purpose. Then it is what? Correct. So one clarification has been given in AS10 that admin purpose is a wider term. It will use all other business purpose, even though not specified here. So in this case, admin purpose will use selling and distribution purpose, accounting purpose, research and development purpose. Means I will say simply any item which are not inventory are what? PP. Except intangible asset. Except intangible, because it is tangible item. So intangible asset is not covered here. Intangible asset is not covered here. One doubt will come with AS13. Once you have done AS13, so investment property. Investment property are also tangible item. Investment property means what? Land and building. You purchase land and building, but not for business purpose, for some capital appreciation, etc. So in that case, that is investment property. So AS13 will be applicable. So investment property is outside the scope of this particular chapter. So one clarification has been given. Point number 2, investment property are covered under AS13. We'll discuss about investment property where AS13. Apart from that, all property will be covered in which chapter? In this chapter. Chalega? Means building used for production. Building used for production. AS10. Building used for admin purpose. Building which is held for capital appreciation. Correct. Building which are given on rent. AS13. AS13. Correct. That is an exception. But plant given on rent, AS10. Plant given on rent, AS10. Correct? Because this is held for rental to others. Understood? Yes, sir. Then once this is the definition criteria. This is what? Definition criteria. Once definition criteria is satisfied, then we should recognize that item as a property, plant and equipment in our balance sheet. So what AS10 says that we can recognize only when two conditions are satisfied. That is known as recognition criteria. That is known as recognition criteria. So there are how many recognition criteria? Two conditions are there. If both the conditions are satisfied, it will be recognized as a PP in our financial statement. What is the first condition? It is probable that future economic benefit will flow to the entity. Probable means what? Probable means what? Possibility means what? Chances of occurrence. Chances of occurrence means what? In simple word, itna chalo. Chances are more than 50%. Whenever chances are more than 50%, it is known as what? Probable. Possible is wrong term. Possible is wrong term. So whenever we are saying probable, don't use the term possible. You understand the key point? This is the key point. The key point, you should know which key point should be used where. So probable does not mean possible. Correct? Probable means chances are more than 50%. Detailed discussion we'll do in some other chapter. Chalega? So probable means chances are more than 50%. It is probable that future economic benefit will flow to the entity. Correct? And second, the cost can be measured reliably. Means we can identify the cost and cost can be measured. Can I say for tangible item, cost can be easily measured? For tangible items, second condition will be always deemed to be satisfied. It means the first condition become more important. So if it is probable that future economic benefit will flow to the entity, we can recognize the PP as an asset in our financial statement. Correct? Understood? Bolo. This point you understood? Then one exception has been given due to materiality concept. For example, this calculator, whether it is a PP, it is not a PP. Why it is not a PP? It is a tangible item which is used for providing services. I am using to provide what? Services or not? And it can be used for more than, means my calculator though I am using from last 5 years. Only we need to change what? Battery na? Are bolna re? Both the conditions satisfied or not? So it will meet the definition criteria. It will also meet the recognition criteria. But due to materiality concept, the amount is very immaterial. So we can charge it to profit and loss account as an expense. Due to which concept? Materiality concept. Because AS do not apply to immaterial item. AS do not apply to immaterial item. AS only apply to material item. So that exception is given. Entity may decide to expense an item of PP if the amount of expenditure is not material. So calculator becomes that example. Printing a stationery, used to write printing a stationery expense. So all stationery item may meet the definition of what? PP, but due to which concept? Materiality concept, it will be charged to PL as a expense. Understood? Have you understood? Aage chale? Yes sir. Then once recognition criteria is satisfied, we should recognize that PP in our books of account at what amount? At what amount? Means we need to pass journal. Recognition means we need to pass the journal entry. The recognition means record it. Record it means pass journal entry. So at what price will pass the journal entry? AS then says at cost price. So initial recognition will be done at cost price. Now what is cost price that we need to understand? What is cost price that we need to understand? Correct? Purchase price does not mean cost price. Purchase price and cost price are two different terms. So purchase price is not a cost price. So we need to do initial recognition at what? Cost price. Correct? So what is that cost price? That discussion we are doing. So for that they have given two situations. Means you need to understand that whenever you have paid the amount, whether the payment is beyond normal credit period or payment is not beyond normal credit period. Understood these terms? Have you understood these terms? Means whenever you purchase something, there might be some credit period. So credit period might be normal credit period. Correct? For the seller normally provide a normal credit period. It depends upon business to business. Correct? In our case, we take advance. In our case, in our business, so everything we take advance na. We don't provide any credit period na. So it depends upon business to business. So suppose you purchase any property, plant and equipment at a credit period of 30 days, and that is a normal credit period. In that case, cost price will be whatever cash you have paid. So you have paid rupees 1,000 become the cost price. But if the payment is delayed beyond normal credit period, means normal credit period is 30 days, but you have been provided a credit period of 1 year. It means there is some financing arrangement. It means whatever you have paid, it includes some interest element. Of course, nothing is free in India, na? Nothing is free in India. So if you demanded a credit period of 1 year, so they will not charge you 1,000. They will charge you more than 1,000. So you are paying more than 1,000. Suppose market rate of interest is 10%. So for 1 year, how much interest will be added? 100. 100 will be added. Therefore, they will charge how much? 1,100. You need to pay 1,100 today or after 1 year? After 1 year. That is known as future payment. And I hope now you have done FM. You know time value of money. You know money has some value na. Correct? So it means we need to find out present value of that. If you have paid today, how much you would have paid. So we will find out the present value of all future payment. Can I say present value of all future payment will be nothing but purchase price at normal credit terms. Means if you do discounting at 10% of 1,100 for 1 year, so it will be 1,000 only, and that is purchase price at normal credit terms. So what AS10 says that if the payment is delayed beyond normal credit period, then cost price will be equal to purchase price at normal credit term or present value of all future payment. Either of this information will be given the question. Either they will give you purchase price at normal credit terms or they will give you what? Future payment with the discount rate. Can't you do discounting? You can do discounting and you can find out the present value. I hope you are expert in discounting now. Am I right or not? Yes, sir. It means from this MCQ question can be asked. Multiple choice question can be asked. So what is cost price? Cost price is equal to cash price equivalent. What do you mean by cash price equivalent? When the payment is not deferred beyond normal credit period, cost is the amount of cash or cash equivalent paid. But when the payment is deferred beyond normal credit period, cost price will be equal to present value of all future payment. Correct. This is nothing but you can add on purchase price at bolo at normal credit period. Purchase price at normal credit period. Understood? Have you understood? Means can I say future payment and present value, the difference will be known as what? Interest. So any difference between future payment and present value will be what? Interest. That will be recognized as an expense over the period of credit. Unless it is covered under AS 16. AS 16 is what? Borrowing cost. So due to AS 16, it might be capitalized also. It might be capitalized. So we'll cover AS 16 in AS 16. Correct? But can I say it can be capitalized if all the condition of AS 16 is satisfied. If question is silent, always it will be charged to profit and loss account as a expense. Got this point? So interest will be recognized as an expense over the period of credit unless it is covered under AS 16. AS 16 will discuss in AS 16 only. Chalega. A simple example. An entity acquired a plant for rupees 20 lakh in 2-year interest-free credit. In 2-year interest-free credit. An appropriate discount rate is 10% per year. My question to your 2-year will be normal credit period or beyond normal credit period? Beyond normal credit period. So again, this interest-free credit is bakwas. This is bakwas. You know about substance over form? Substance over form? Have you heard about substance over form? What do you mean by substance over form? That is an example. You are giving me example. What do you mean by substance over form? Ki accounting treatment is based on reality or legality? Reality, not based on legality. So whatever is written in the contract become legality. But we should do accounting based on reality. So in the contract it is given it is interest free. Whether it will be interest free? No. Are you getting what I am saying? In contract you can write on anything. But contract is a legal document. Will not do accounting based on legal document. Will do accounting based on AS. Will do accounting based on AS. AS is formed based on substance only. So if this is 2-year become what? More than normal credit term. In the contract it is mentioned it is interest free. Whether it will be interest free or with interest? With interest. So this is totally bakwas. Bakwas means not relevant. It is not relevant for accounting. Got this point? Correct. So this 20 lakh is paid after how many years? 2 years. What is the rate of discount? 10%. So what will be the cost price of PP? Can you calculate that discounting factor? Discounting factor at the rate of 10% for 2 years will be 0. I am assuming that you know present value, huh? Because I am not here to teach FM. 0.826. So 20 lakh multiplied by 0.826, how much it is coming? It will be approximately this amount, 16,52,893. So this become the cost price of PP. This become the cost price of PP. So what will be your first journal entry? PP account debit to? PP account debit to? PP account debit to? Whether the amount is paid or not paid. So it is payable or it is paid? Payable. So PP account debit to payable. With what amount? 20 lakh or 16 lakh? 16,52,893. Understood? So on the date of contract, what will you journal entry? PP account debit to payable. And at the end of each year, we recognize what? Interest expense. At what rate? 10%. So first year interest expense will be 10% of this. Then this will become the amount payable. Then second year interest will be this on this. And the amount payable at the end of second year will be 20 lakh. This is future payment. This is future payment. If nothing is given, this interest will be charged to profit and loss account as a expense, because we will not assume by our own AS 16. If nothing is given, we will charge it to profit and loss account as a expense. Understood? So what is the first journal entry? PP account debit to payable. With what amount? Cost price. What is the cost price? 16,52,893. At year end 1, what journal entry? Interest expense account debit to payable. Then at year end 2, what journal entry? Interest expense account debit to payable. Entire payable will become how much? 20 lakh. 20 lakh. That will be paid. Payable account debit to cash or bank. Are you able to follow me? Whether my speed is okay? Whether my speed is okay? Bolo. Yes, sir. Correct. My question to you, depreciation will be done on 20 lakh or 16 lakh? 16 lakh, because cost price is what? 16,52,893. That become the cost price. Understood? Yes, sir. Done. First point, and this type of question can be asked in multiple choice question. Aage chale. Now, cost price means what? Means what are included in cost price, what are not included in cost price, that we need to understand. So AS10 says there are three components of cost price. There are three components of cost price. First is known as purchase price. Purchase price. First is known as purchase price. So purchase price means what? Invoice price less any trade discount or rebate plus any non-refundable duties and taxes. Non-refundable duties and taxes, the best example is what? GST. Because for GST, because now I hope you have done IDT also, because tax is in group 1 only, correct now? Do you know about GST? For GST we can get input credit. Input credit means it is indirectly refundable by the government, recoverable from the government. So if it is recoverable from the government, it is not a part of cost, and therefore we should not add it, correct? So only we should add non-refundable duties and taxes. We should add only non-refundable duties and taxes. If question is silent, suppose GST is given and nothing is given, we'll assume it is refundable or non-refundable? We'll assume non-refundable from exam point of view. Now here, sir, our assumption is also correct. Now you have assumed what? Refundable. Some other student have assumed non-refundable. So based on assumption, both answers are correct or not? But there are some general assumptions. General assumption can't be changed in exam. That is the ICAI rules. You need to follow, because you are giving ICAI exam, you need to follow the rules and regulation of ICAI. Means from my point of view, your assumption is correct, but I am not ICAI now. I am not ICAI. We need to follow ICAI solution. Now, if whenever question is silent, always assume what? Non-refundable and add it. Correct? Yes, sir. This three you have understood. What is the difference between trade discount and cash discount? Both are same or different? Means cash discount will not be reduced. Cash discount or settlement discount. Any discount which is given on settlement, that is known as cash discount. So any cash discount or settlement discount will not be deducted from purchase price. That will be credited to PL once it is received. That will be transferred to PL once it is received. Got this point? The only trade discount rebate will be deducted. Understood? Yes, sir. This two attention wala point you have understood? Chalega. The first component is what? Purchase price. Purchase price you understood. What is purchase price? Invoice price minus trade discount or any rebate plus any non-refundable duties and taxes. Aage chale. Second component is directly attributable cost. Directly attributable cost. In simple word, we'll say incremental cost. Incremental cost means which will be incurred only on acquisition or construction of that asset. Means any cost which will be incurred, even though that asset is not acquired, that is not a incremental cost. So that become directly attributable cost. Are you able to understand? Means which is incurred only on acquisition or construction of that PP. That become directly attributable cost. Are you able to understand? Means can I say any ongoing expenses should not be added? Any ongoing expenses should not be added. A simple example I will say, suppose you have an employee, means a company has an employee. To employee we need to pay salary, and we are paying salary of rupees 1 lakh per month. And that employee was engaged in the purchase of PP. Whether the salary should be allocated and capitalized? No, because can I say that salary will be incurred even though asset is not acquired, therefore it is not directly attributable cost. But any employee, yeah, any labor who is engaged in the construction of that PP directly, then their salary will be added. Understood? Directly attributable cost. The word you have understood, directly attributable cost. So directly attributable cost means any cost incurred to bring the asset in present location and condition for its intended use. Examples, let us take some examples. Examples are employee benefit. Employee benefit means salary. I think you have done AS15. AS15 means the word used what? Employee benefit. So that is nothing but salary, etc. Correct? You can add on salary. If you are not comfortable with employee benefit, you can add on salary. Chalega? So any employee benefit cost arising directly from construction or acquisition of PP means which employee is directly engaged in the construction or acquisition of PP. Second, any transportation cost, carriage inward. Carriage inward means transportation cost for bringing the PP in the location. Correct. Any installation or assembly expenses, any installation, for example, you purchase AC, the first transportation cost will be added, then installation cost will be also added. Because without installation, you can't use the AC, it becomes directly attributable expenses. Then any site preparation cost, any professional technical fee, any cost of testing. This is thoda sa important. Any cost of testing. Normally, just try to understand, whenever we purchase some expensive item, expensive, not small item, because for AC will not incur any testing cost, because that is trialed, that is understood it will work in the condition prescribed by the vendor. But suppose you purchase some expensive plant machinery of 100 crore. So can you say, to become satisfied for the performance of that PP, you want some trial run period, and the vendor will give you 15-20 days trial run. So can you say, in that 15 days you are testing PP, but you have not acquired it. So when you are testing that PP, some cost will be incurred. That is known as testing cost. Till now you have not purchased it. Once the testing becomes successful, then only you will acquire it. So any testing cost is incurred before acquisition, and therefore it will be capitalized. Okay, during testing some unit might be also produced. So any sale proceed of the unit produced during testing period will be deducted, and the net amount will be capitalized. Suppose testing cost is 1 lakh, and you produce 1000 units of finished goods. That can be sold in the market at rupees 10,000. So 10,000 will be deducted, and 90,000 will be capitalized with the cost price of PP. So this 90,000 will be capitalized. Understood? Means this sale proceed will not be transferred to PL. Understood? So cost of testing whether the asset is working properly after deducting the net proceed from sale of any product produced during the testing period. This becomes the second point you understood. First point is what? Purchase price. Second point is what? Directly attributable cost. Then third point is what? Initial estimated cost. Initial estimated cost of what? Dismantling or removing or restoring the site where it has been located. For example, this AC. Let us take the example of AC. AC you have purchased, purchase price will be added. Then transportation cost will be added. Then installation cost will be added. This is point number A and point number B. Till now, no point number C. Now, once it is installed, it can be used or not. It can be used. Correct. Now, at the end of useful life, you will dismantle it. Means you will do dismantling when? Today or at the end of useful life? At the end of useful life. Correct now. So at the end of useful life, you will try to dismantle it, then remove it. Then the wall where it has been located, that require restoration, because that wall will be destroyed during dismantling. So that require restoration. So that become dismantling, removing, and restoration cost. Should we capitalize it? Today? Should we capitalize it? This will be incurred after some year. Means suppose the useful life is 10 years. So this will be incurred after how many years? 10 years. So should we capitalize it? Should we capitalize it? Yes sir or no sir? Not always. Not always. Not always. Correct? Means we may capitalize it if one condition is satisfied. For that we need to go to AS 29. Which AS? AS 29. AS 29 is what? Provision, contingent liability and contingent asset. But I hope thora to you know AS 29. Now AS 29 says that provisions are what? Provisions are liability. Provisions are liability which require substantial degree of estimation, which require some estimation. Amount require estimation. Means any liability which require estimation, that will become provision. Now AS 29 says there are three conditions. If three conditions are satisfied, then we can recognize provision. Are you able to follow me? Are you able to follow me? So what AS 29 says is there are how many conditions? Three conditions. If three conditions are satisfied, then we can recognize provision. Means what? When I say we can recognize provision, means what? We can record journal entry. Means we can pass journal entry. Whenever I use the word recognize means what? Pass journal entry. Now journal entry, journal entry where we have done in class 11, 12 and CA enter. But when to pass the journal entry, that is given by AS. At what amount, that is given by AS. This is the importance of AS. So for CA, we are not supposed to learn journal entry. We are supposed to learn what? When, what and what amount. That is more important for us. When to pass the journal entries, when to create provision. So what our AS 29 says, when three conditions are satisfied. First, there must be present obligation arising from past events. Second, outflow of resources probable. And third, amount can be estimated. Correct? The present obligation means there must be some legal or contractual obligation. When I say obligation means legal or contractual obligation. Now you only say obligation means what? Legal or contractual obligation. Obligation means what? Legal or contractual. Legal means what? Due to some act. Contractual means due to contract. Now just try to understand. I have installed AC. Whether any legal obligation dismantle it? Bolna re. Bolo. Any legal obligation dismantle it? Bolo yes or no? No. Maza nahi aana. Loud. No. Whether any contractual obligation dismantle? No. It means AS 29 is not applicable. So AS 29 is not applicable. The question of AS 10 will not apply. Just try to understand what is how you respond in exam. Exam you can respond only when you have something in your mind. When mind is blank, you can't respond. Okay? So I am trying to put something in your mind. With me, try to understand. There is no need to do magafication. There is no need to do memorization. If you are understanding, you will be able to write. For example, just try to understand. Everyone, just try to understand. If I say something, write something about IPL matches. Can't you write? How many pages you can write? 50. But can you write 50 pages? But the 50 marks. Pass. So you require any memorization? You know everything. You know everything now. That is here. There is nothing to memorize. You try to understand. Try to understand. If you understand, then only you can write. If you are not able to understand, you will forget after 2 days. You will forget after 2, 3, 4, 5 days. Means today you have done memorization, after 2 days you will forget. So how can you write? How can you write? So try to understand whatever I am saying. I hope the example, whatever I have given, you will never forget. And you ask this example to CA final student, they also don't know. Means CA final student, they also writing exam without understanding. And because of that is a student of not passing in CA finals. Means what is the difference between CA int and CA final? I will say. Subject are same. Only thoda sa advance. With thoda sa practical knowledge. Because they start going to Article C. But more or less income tax will remain income tax. Accounts will remain accounts. Means this AS 10, I will teach same to same there also. Same to same. Means right now I will teach you CA finalist, you will be able to understand. But for that you need to pass CA inter examination. Yes or no? But believe me, if I will explain everything, whatever I used to explain in CA finalist, that also you will be able to understand. You will be able to understand. But can you retain it? You can retain it only once you are enjoying it. When you are enjoying it, so IPL matches you enjoyed, and therefore you can write how many pages? 50 pages. Someone can write 100 pages. Anyone can write 100 pages? No. Yes, no. Means you enjoy a lot. Chennai Super King, Mr. Dhoni. Which king? Huh? Huh? Who is Asif? Virat Kohli. Who is the captain? Means believe me, if you ask me, can you write something about IPL? I say 0 pages. I can't write because I don't follow. I don't follow. It depends upon the interest area. But if you ask me, write something about accounting standard, I can write 1000 pages. 1000 pages. Write on something about CA, I can write on 2000 pages. Because that is my area. So you need to think about that. What is your career? Your career is what? CA. So you should think about CA only. Day and night you should think about CA. Only ICAI. Means your temple is what? ICAI. Your temple is ICAI, na? Yes or no? Because that only will give you bread and butter in your life. You are here for bread and butter, na? Yes or no? So ICAI is the building, that is temple for you. Anytime you have gone to ICAI building, go there and touch it. ऐसे करके. You have done that. Do what temple? You go to temple, na? What do you do? Some moment you enter the gate, what do you do? You do na, because we have some hope that God is with me. We have hope ICAI is with me. That hope should be there. Connection will be created. Connection is required. That is my building. I want to become ICAI. I want to become member of that ICAI. If that connection will not come, you will not study. Connection should come, na? Am I right or not? The connection will come only once. The moment you go there, you touch it, the connection will come. Sometime go there. I am here for 6 days. Come with me. I will also go. I will also touch. You also touch. Okay. I don't know where is ICAI building here. Nearby. So I am here. After class will go. Who will go with me? Come now. Those who want to go will go with me. I will also touch. My also temple is that only. Okay. Yes, sir. Chalo. So example you have understood. For AC will not create any provision. The question of capitalization will not arise. But let me give you some example. Another example. Correct? Another example. For example, I have taken one building on rent, on lease. Correct? And there I have installed one machinery. And as per the contractual agreement of that lease, I need to dismantle that machinery after 5 years, because 5 years is the lease term. Correct? So there is a contractual agreement to dismantle machinery, remove it and restore the site, restore the building where it has been located. So there is a contractual obligation or not? AS29 will be applicable or not? So we should create a provision or not? Yes. So provision will be created as per AS29. So provision will be debited or credited? Provision will be debited or credited? Two provisions. Suppose the amount is 1 lakh. Two provision 1 lakh. So which account you will debit? PP. PP. That is given by AS10. AS10 says that if there is an obligation to dismantle as per AS29, so whatever amount you are creating provision, that will be capitalized to the cost price of PP. Means your journal include PP account debit to provision. So PP AS10, provision AS29. There are two accounting standards in this. Have you understood? Now read, you will be able to understand. Initial estimated cost of dismantling and removing the item or restoring the site on which it has been located. We call it PRC. This liability is known as decommissioning, restoration and similar liability. We call it प्यार से DRSL. In class we'll call it DRSL. In exam write down decommissioning, restoration and similar liability. Liability as per which AS? 29. So what they are saying? If obligation, which obligation? Legal or? Write down legal or contractual. It can be legal or contractual. If question is silent, always assume there is an obligation from exam point of view. However, they will inform you, but they have not informed you, then also assume yes, there is a legal or contractual obligation and capitalize it from examination point of view. From examination point of view. Okay? Yes, sir. So if obligation of DRSL has been incurred when the item of PP was acquired or during the period when the item is used, it will be capitalized to the cost of PP. What will be capitalized? That obligation. Obligation will be recognized as per AS 29. So amount will be estimated as per AS 29. AS 29 says present value. AS 29 says what? Present value of future expenditure. Correct. So of course after 10 years we'll do dismantling. So that will be a future expenditure. Future expenditure require estimation. So suppose you estimated 1 lakh will be incurred after 10 years. So you will capitalize 1 lakh or present value 1 lakh? Present value of 1 lakh. So this will be present value of 1 lakh. Present value. Present value. Don't worry, from exam point of view, they will either give you present value or they will give you future amount with discounting factor. With discounting factor. Discounting factor given, you can do it now. Yes, sir. However, if obligation has not been incurred, there is no contractual, there is no legal obligation. Will you capitalize it? No. So in this, it will not be capitalized. However, from exam point of view, question is silent, then always capitalize. If question is silent, always capitalize. If question is silent, always capitalize. If question is silent, always capitalize. Chalega. For example, on 1st April 2017, a PP was acquired for rupees 50 lakhs subject to a trade discount of 10%. Of course, we'll deduct. Correct now? GST of 18%, credit of GST is not available. It becomes non-refundable, refundable. So it will be added. Other directly attributable cost of 5 lakh. This will be also added. Useful life of PP is equal to 5 years. As per applicable law, law means legal obligation. Law means legal obligation. PP need to dismantle at the end of useful life. Estimated cost of dismantling 6 lakh. This is future expenditure or present expenditure? Future. So it means we require discounting. For that, what will be given? Discounting rate will be given. Discounting rate is what? 10%. So for 5 years, 10%. Can you give me discounting factor? 0.620. 0.620. So 6 lakh into 0.620, how much? 6 lakh into 0.620, na? 3 lakh 72,552. One thing, just try to understand from exam point of view. But we'll take how much decimal? 3 decimal, 4 decimal, 5 decimal, unlimited decimal. 4. Your FM teacher has said? Your account teacher has said or FM teacher? FM. So, follow that. Na? Now you said 4. So how much you have given? 3. So 4 is what? Take 4 now. Whatever your teacher said, that only 0.09. So write down 6,209. Follow whatever your teacher said. Correct now? I don't want to change whatever your teacher has said. Teacher said 4 na? Are bolna re? Now your teacher said 4. You are writing 6,209, but you are multiplying with full. That is not correct now. You are writing what? 6,209. So multiply also by 6,209. Understood? Whatever you are writing, that only you take as multiplication. You are writing 6,209. You are multiplying with full decimal. Anyone can deduct marks because what you are writing, that is not matching with your solution. Chalega? Okay, don't take risk. Don't take risk. Chalega? So write 6,209, multiply by 6,209. What amount is coming now? 3 lakh 540. My answer is also what? Means I have also taken what? 4 decimal. But I have multiplied by also what? 4 decimal. This is the difference between who passed and who struggled. Understood? You are also correct. I am also correct. But who is checking your paper with some rules and regulation? Got this point? Are you able to understand what I am saying? You are also correct. Means as a CA you are correct. But who is checking your paper? ICAI. Can you fight with ICAI? God na or Godfather? We can't fight. We can't fight na. Are bolna re. Understood? Yes, sir. Dekho, I have also multiplied with that only 6209. So very simple. Once you have understood this, so 50 lakh minus credit discount 5 lakh, 45 lakh, 18% how much? 8 lakh 10,000. This will be added 50 lakh, 53 lakh 10,000. Then 53 lakh 10,000. This is twice written. 53 lakh 10,000. Then initial estimate cost of DRSA will be added and 5 lakh directly attributable expense will be added. This become the cost price of PP. This become the cost price of PP. Means what will be your journal entry? PP account debit. How much? 61 lakh 82,540. To what? To payable. Can I say to provision? Provision will be what amount? To provision will be what amount? 3,72,540. So provision will be 3,17,540 and balance you can assume it has been paid because no information has been given. So balance you can assume the balance amount has been paid. If nothing is given, we will assume that only it has been paid. It has been paid. Understood? Understood? Have you understood? आगे चले. Correct. This is pakka one question for multiple choice question or 5 marks question can be asked. Then this you leave right now. Come to self-constructed asset. Can I say asset can be either acquired, PP can be either acquired or constructed? The rules remain same, component remains same. It will also comprise of 3 components: purchase price, directly attributable expenses, and initial estimated cost of dismantling, etc. But whenever you are constructing, so there can be 2 type of costs. One is known as specific cost, one is known as allocable cost. Specific cost which is incurred directly on that construction, that will be capitalized. There are some costs which are incurred on 2 construction. Suppose I am constructing 2 buildings, building 1, building 2. In the construction of building 1, building 2, I am using 1 plant and machinery. So the depreciation of that plant and machinery should be added to building 1 and building 2 both in some allocation ratio. So that is known as allocable expense. In what ratio, that will be given in the question. Means how much depreciation will be allocated to building 1, how much depreciation will be allocated to building 2. Don't worry about that. For that information will be given in the question. Means we need to identify which is specific cost, that will be entirely added. There are some allocable expenses which will be allocated as per the information given in the question. Understood? Chalega? Okay, sir? Yes, sir. However, there are some special point for construction. During the construction, there may be some abnormal loss. So any abnormal loss will never be capitalized. That will be always charged to profit and loss account as an expense. So any abnormal loss will never be capitalized. It will be charged to PL as an expense immediately. This is a very simple point. Any internal profit. Internal profit means what? However, I don't know whether this type of question will be asked or not. In previous attempt, I will say 15 years before, one question was asked with this internal profit. So how you know? I am teaching from last 20 years, I know everything. But whether it will be repeated or not repeated, that I don't know. Just try to understand example. Once you understand emotions, you can do the solution. Suppose there are 2 departments, Department A and Department B in the company. Department A is engaged in the purchase of raw material and they purchase and transfer the raw material to Department B, and Department D is engaged in construction. Now Department B is purchasing the raw material at ₹100 but transferring at ₹120 to what? Department B. Means they are adding some internal profit. But for a company as a whole, whether this 20 is a profit? No. So what they are saying, if any internal profit has been added to the cost price, that should be eliminated. So for Department B, cost become 120. But 120 include how much internal profit? That should be eliminated and should not be capitalized. Should not be capitalized. I hope you have understood the common sense. Chalega? So any internal profit included in the cost should be eliminated. Okay. Let me ask you one question. Apply your common sense. Sometimes AS, suppose you are forgetting. In exam, you are not able to understand what was given in AS state. Quite possible, because we are small people with a small mind. Correct na? Everything we can't retain. And the criteria is 50%. Okay, chalega na? So sometimes whenever you have forgotten, apply your common sense. Being a chartered accountant, suppose you are a chartered accountant, if you are CA, what you would have done? Most of the time your answer will be correct. Most of the time your answer will be correct. Let me ask you one question. Question is what? Correct. 1 minute. Question is, suppose this is one building. Building is constructed in a land, but building is constructed in two phases, phase 1 and phase 2. I mean, right now construction is going in phase 1, correct? Yes, so means phase 2 no work is going on. This land is empty. So what the entity management had decided to use this empty land for some other source of income. It can be any source of income. For example, this land has been given for parking area to any public. So they will incur some expense and they will generate some income. The question is that from this area, whatever income has been generated and whatever expense has been incurred, whether it will be adjusted to the cost price of PP or it will be transferred to PL. Transfer to PL. Anyone saying it will be adjusted to the cost price of PP? No. Do you know this point before for the first time you are doing? It might happen you have done, forgotten, you have not done, or you know this point. If you know this point, okay, your answer is correct. But if you don't know, your answer is 100% correct. It means in exam, nothing to fear. Once a question asks, apply your common sense and do it and just proceed. Exam is a game of 3 hours. In 3 hours, you need to complete 100 marks paper. From 100 marks, you need to score how much? Minimum 50. That should be criteria. For that, getting 50 marks, you should write now. Don't panic in exam hall. So your answer is 100% correct. Same thing is given in AS 10. The income and the related expense of any incidental operation that may occur before or during construction and development of an item of PP are recognized in PL. Let me ask you another example. Suppose I purchase an old building and I need to construct a new building. But for constructing a new building, first what I should do? Demolish old building. So there is one demolition cost, and whatever, suppose demolition cost is 1 lakh. Okay? There will be some scrap. The scrap can be sold, and the scrap has been sold at rupees 20,000. Correct? So this is demolition cost. This is not a construction of new building. Construction of new building will be started once demolition has happened. So first demolition of old building, then the sale proceed of scrap material. Whether it will be adjusted with the cost price of PP or transfer to PL. Adjusted to cost price of PP or transfer to PL. Adjusted to the cost price of PP. But there are someone who are not responding. There are many people who are not responding. So you need to respond na. Are bolna re. Means in exam you have two options. Either do or do. Either do or do. There is no other option. Either you write or write. And whatever you are writing, it may be correct, it may be wrong. You don't decide. But when you think, you are wasting your time now. You are wasting your time or not? Why you are thinking? Whatever you know, just write down and come back. Leave something to our God. God means ICAI. Already you have connections na. Touch the feet. Are bola re. He is with you na. Don't worry about that. But you respond. You need to respond. I think those who have responded, they are 100% correct. Those who have not responded, they are doubtful. And doubtful is dangerous. Are you able to understand? Correct? So those who have responded, they are 100% correct. So two examples, both are similar, both have different answer, but you are correct. You are correct na? अरे बोलना रे एक बार ताली तो मार अपने लिए यार अरे मारो. Very good. Excellent. Excellent means I am getting maja. You are enjoying the classes. You are understanding, because that will motivate me also to teach, because I need to teach for how many hours? 8 hours. Okay. Correct. Okay. So I also require motivation. Okay. Chalo. Okay. Same thing is given in command. Now you can read this para. You will be able to understand. आगे चले. Now, once capitalization done, so at some point of time we need to cease capitalization. So we cease capitalization once the asset is ready for its intended use. Once the asset is ready for its intended use. So once the asset is ready for its intended use, now further no capitalization. Further no capitalization. So it means if I just give one diagram, suppose this is the date. Once you acquire the asset, but the asset become ready for use. It means whatever cost incurred yahan par, correct? If this is purchase price, A, B means directly attributable expense, C means initial estimated cost of DRSL. I can add on DRSL. This can be capitalized. Any other cost will be charged to profit and loss account as an expense. Correct? Means once it become ready, then we will cease capitalization. Cease means what? We will stop capitalization. Now further there will be no capitalization of initial recognition. Means your initial recognition will be completed here. Now we'll go for subsequent recognition. Initial recognition is completed when the asset is ready for its intended use. Once the asset is ready for its intended use. So it is ready at this point of time, but quite possible even though it is ready for its intended use at this point of time, but for 2 months we can't use it. Quite possible. Suppose building is ready, but we require some havan, etc. Pandit, Purohit came, they said 2 months is not, there is some Rahu, there is some Ketu. Correct na? Are bolna re? You know Rahu Ketu? Yes, sir. So for 2 months, it was not put to use. So it was put to use at this point of time. Understood? So it was ready at this point of time. It was put to use at this point of time. My question to you all, this expense will be capitalized or charged to PL? What a confidence. Confidence. I am just seeing confidence. This confidence is required where? In exam. If this is the confidence, any question, whatever solution reading, that will be correct. Fear is not there. Now fear is not there. This confidence we require, this will be charged to profit and loss account as an expense. My next question, correct? Think and say, but the depreciation will start once the asset is ready for use or once the asset is put to use. Ready for use or put to use? Ready for use. 100% correct. 100% correct. Means put to use is bakwas. This date is not at all relevant. Means your depreciation will commence once the asset is ready for use, even though asset is not put to use. Even though asset is not put to use, because the useful life will start when the asset is ready for use. Understood? Got this point? Chalega? Yes, sir. So this when to cease also you have understood. It will be seized once the item is ready for its intended use. Means can I say, now whatever cost which I have not discussed, if that is not directly attributable or that cost is incurred after the asset is ready for its intended use, will never be capitalized. Correct? Let me give you some example. This example will be directly asked in exam. So these examples are important. However, if you have forgotten, apply your common sense. Correct? Cost of operating new facility means inauguration expenses. Inauguration means you have constructed a factory, you are doing some inauguration expense. Whether it is directly attributable expenses? No, it will be charged to profit and loss account as an expense. Staff training expense. This is very confusion point. Staff training expense. Suppose I purchase one camera. Now I train my staff to operate camera. Whether it will be capitalized? No. That is not directly attributable expenses. Correct? Understood? The staff training expense will never be capitalized. Similarly, any advertisement and promotional expenditure, any admin and other general overhead, any initial operating losses, any cost incurred after the asset is ready for its intended use till the asset is put to use will never be capitalized. Relocation cost or reorganization cost. Relocation cost, sometimes we are confused. Suppose this is building, we have already installed everything. and we are doing classes यहाँ पर. After some point of time, academy because number of student increase, now this classroom become small. So we shifted entire equipment to some other building. This become relocation cost or reorganization cost. Both are same. Relocation and reorganization cost both are same. Correct now. Whether it will be capitalized? No, because that was already ready for use. Once it is ready for use, now whatever cost is incurred, that will never be capitalized. That will never be capitalized. Understood? Have you understood? Correct. There are two notes. One is borrowing cost. Borrowing cost will be capitalized as per the requirement of AS 16. We'll do it under AS 16. Then government grant. I think you have done AS 12. As per AS 12, government grant may be deducted from the cost price of depreciable asset. That also we'll discuss where in AS 12. However, it can be deducted from the cost price of asset, cost price of PP. When, how, we'll discuss in AS 12. This also you have understood. My final आ गया. Delete. Actually, this is newly drafted by me. So copy paste. AS 12. In final, it is Ind AS 20. Government grant. ठीक है. We are also human being. We can also do mistake. ठीक है? Okay. So we CA will forgive each other. I will forgive you. You forgive me. Because both are CA. Both are CA. Okay. Okay. You don't complain about me. I will not complain about you. Okay. Chalo. Government grant you understood? Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Now coming to this is very, very important. PP acquired in exchange of non-monetary asset. PP acquired in exchange of non-monetary asset. Means can I say either PP can acquired in cash or in credit or in exchange of other asset. So whenever it is acquired in exchange of other asset, what our AS10 says the cost price of PP acquired will be equal to cost price of PP acquired will be equal to fair value of asset given up. Fair value of asset given up plus minus cash adjustment. Plus minus cash adjustment plus cash paid minus cash received. Plus cash paid or minus cash received. It cannot be both. Either it will be payment or it will be received. So plus cash paid or minus cash received. Understood? But if the fair value of asset given up cannot be measured reliably, then we will take fair value of asset received. Fair value of asset received means first preference will be given to what? Fair value of asset given up. If it is not given in the question, then fair value of asset received. If both are not given, then carrying amount of asset given up. Carrying amount means book value. Carrying amount means book value. Carrying amount of asset given up plus minus cash adjustment. This is the rule. So this becomes first preference. If this is not given in exam question, then second preference. If this is not given in exam question, then third preference. Understood? Have you understood this point? Correct? Means suppose one question ke old car exchange with new car. New car purchase in exchange of old car. Correct? Okay, sir. My example is given. Correct. So case 1, case 2, case 3. 3 cases are given. First case, fair value of old car is what? Fair value of new car is what? And therefore no cash adjustment required. So in this case, cost price of, what is the objective? Objective is to find out the cost price of new car. The cost price of new car will be equal to what? First take fair value of old car. That is how much? 3 lakh. If it is not given, then fair value of new car. That is also how much? 3 lakh. So both are same in this question. Correct. So it means cost price of new car will be equal to what? 3 lakh. Understood? Second, fair value of old car is how much? 3 lakh. What is the fair value of new car? 6 lakh. So how much cash will be paid? 3 lakh. So in this case, cost price of new car will be equal to fair value of old car plus cash paid. Total is equal to how much? 6 lakh. And fair value of new car is also how much? 6 lakh. In this case also both are same. So what is the cost price of new car? 6 lakh. Chalega? Okay. Third case. Fair value of old car is what? 6 lakh. What is the fair value of new car? Quite possible old car is Mercedes-Benz, new car is Tata Nano. You know? Correct. Now it is obsolete only. Correct. Chalo. So 3 lakh. It is quite possible. It is quite possible, na? Yes sir. In this case बताओ cash paid की cash received, cash received only. In this case cash received. So what is the first preference? Fair value of old car award 6 lakh minus how much? 3 lakh. That is equal to how much? 3 lakh. And fair value of new car is what? 3 lakh. Both are same. Both are same. Correct. Now don't think about journal entry. Don't look the answer. But in first case, what will be journal entry? New car account debit. How much? How much? First case 3 lakh. To old car how much? 3 lakh. Not. Old car will be derecognized, not at fair value. Old car will be derecognized at book value. Understood the mistake? Here you everyone, normally most of the students do mistake. Okay? So you need to ask me, so what is the book value? And book value I have given how much? 2 lakh. How much I have given? 2 lakh. Understood? So 2 lakh. And the difference will be what? So that will be gain. Gain how much? Gain is equal to 1 lakh. First case you understood. Second case, batao. What is the new car? How much? 6 lakh. Old car how much? 2 lakh. In this cash paid ki cash received? Cash paid. To debited or credited? So to cash or bank na? How much? 3 lakh. So what is the gain? Gain is equal to 1 lakh. Once again gain is equal to 1 lakh. Understood? Chalega. Third case. But what is the cost price of new car? Old car? 2 lakh. Carrying amount remains same na? Carrying amount remains same. In this case, cash paid ki cash received. So we write down cash or bank account debit. How much? 3 lakh. Correct? So what is the gain? So gain become what? 6 minus 2 how much? 4 lakh is the gain. Understood? Have you understood? One situation I am giving, you will say what is the answer. Okay? One situation I am grading. Situation number 4. I am writing fourth situation. Okay? Now, fair value of old car is 7 lakh. Don't say anything, raise your hand. I just want to see how many of you are giving answer, whether correct or wrong. But how many of you are giving answer? Okay? Fair value of old car is 8 lakh. Cash paid is 50,000. What is the cost price of new car? Raise your hand. Bolo. Raise your hand. What is the cost price of new car? 7 lakh is the fair value of old car. 8 lakh is the fair value of new car. And 50,000 is cash paid. Carrying amount same. Jindabad 2 lakh. Give me only cost price of new car. I don't want journal entry. I have seen you. Those who are raising hand, I am just observing. I got one answer from live student. Got the answer? Got answer? How many are willing to give answer? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. How can I understand you are willing to give answer? What is the answer? 5 lakh. How many are saying 5 lakh 50,000? Any alternative answer? Any alternative answer? Everyone giving 5 lakh 50,000? Huh? Bolo, bolo. How many are saying 7 lakh 50,000? Only one. Any alternative answer? That I understood. 5,50,000 I understood. 7,50,000 understood. Any alternative answer? 7,50,000 is correct. How you got 5,50,000? What is carrying amount? One second, you have not applied AS10 again. What is the cost price of new car? Fair value of first preference what? Fair value of old car plus cash paid. Whether fair value of old car is given? Given or not given? How much given? 7 lakh plus how much paid? 50,000. So what is the cost price of new car? 7,50,000. 7,50,000. Only this much. So this was only a testing whether you are understanding my emotions or not. So sometimes what is visible that become invisible, and what is invisible that become visible. Correct now? Means when I am taking this example, everyone said you have understood, but nobody understood. Nobody understood. Yes or no? So what is the formula? Try to understand. Cost price of new car, yeah, new PP acquired. First preference will be given to what? Fair value of asset given up plus minus cash adjustment. So whether fair value of old car given, to take that. Now fair value of new car, carrying amount all become not relevant for finding out the cost price of new car. So your answer is 7 lakh plus 50,000. Suppose in the same question, this is not given. Suppose 7 lakh is not given. Then what is your answer? Suppose 7 lakh is not given. Then what is your answer? 8 lakh? Not lakh. Only 8 lakh. Don't go with my flow. Don't go with my flow. Go with AS10 flow. What is the answer? Fair value of asset received. Fair value of asset received. Correct? Now think and say. Okay. Suppose this is also not given, this is also not given. Then what is your answer? 2,50,000. 2,50,000 carrying amount of asset given up plus minus cash adjustment. Understood? This is the rule. Now you can't change this rule. You can't change this rule. The first preference will be given to what? Fair value. Don't say asset given up. Who said asset given up? Who said asset given up? Arey bolo, haath raise karo. Don't, there is nothing to hide, huh? If you are hiding with me, then there is a problem. Bolo, fair value of asset given up. Bolo, fair value of asset given up plus minus. Second preference, fair value of asset received. Third preference, carrying amount of asset given up plus minus cash adjustment. Only this much. Understood? Yes, sir. Correct? This much you understood? Now what AS10 says that if exchange transaction lacks commercial substance, if exchange transaction lacks commercial substance, just try to understand what they want to say. Try to understand these emotions. Suppose this is my mobile. Okay. You have also same mobile, same company of same age. Age means suppose this I'm using for 2 years. You are also using for last 2 year your mobile. So same mobile, same model, same company, everything is same. Its life is also same. Correct. Now I am exchanging my mobile with your mobile. Any benefit I am getting? Whether I am getting any benefit? No. It means this transaction lacks what? Commercial substance. Understood? Correct. So if there is some transaction without any benefit, it means it is not commercially viable. First of why you will do? But in some circumstances, we are supposed to do that transaction. Normally it happens with land. Land of similar nature are exchanged. Understood? In that case, always cost price will be equal to carrying amount of asset given up plus minus cash adjustment. Means simple word to understand from examination point of view. Whenever similar asset are exchanged, but similar in each characteristics, whenever similar asset are exchanged, it means that transaction lacks commercial substance. In that case, cost price will be always equal to what? Carrying amount of asset given up plus minus cash adjustment. Means from exam point of view, there are two situations. So in exam, two situations. If normally whenever question silent, we'll always assume there is a commercial substance, there is no commercial substance. there is a commercial substance, correct? So in exam, always whenever this type of questions ask, first ask whether transaction have commercial substance or lacks commercial substance. In this case, first preference will be given to what? Fair value of asset given up plus minus cash adjustment. Second preference will be given to what? Fair value of asset received. Third preference will be given to what? Carrying amount of asset given up plus minus cash adjustment. In this case, only one option, carrying amount of asset given up plus minus cash adjustment. High probability this question may come in your MCQs. High probability. They will say like this, कि one warehouse of similar nature in same area exchange with another warehouse of same nature in the same area, means this transaction lacks commercial substance. It means in that case this fair value information is not at all relevant. Cost price will be equal to carrying amount of asset given up plus minus cash adjustment. Understood? If question is silent, always apply what? If question is silent, always apply what? Commercial substance. Okay, sir. आगे चले. Okay, understood? Can we move? Now, PP purchase for a consolidated price. Till now, it has not been asked in exam. Sometimes, suppose you purchase a building with furniture, with car. Suppose you can purchase now. You purchase building with furniture, with car. Means one person was going out of India. He have sold entire asset to you. So building, furniture, car, everything. So in that case, plant is a different class. Car is a different class, building is a different class, and furniture is different class. So in that case, what our AS10 says that the consideration whatever you have paid, that will be allocated to each item of PP in the ratio of their fair value. In the ratio of their fair value. The fair value will be given in the question. Consideration paid will be given in the question. That consideration paid will be allocated to each item of PP in the ratio of their fair value. Till now not asked in exam, can be asked. I don't know whether it is important or not important. Okay. So when several items of PP are purchased for a consolidated price, the consolidation is apportioned to various items on the basis of respective fair value on the date of acquisition. Okay. Then PP, which is acquired in case of lease, this will be discussed under AS 19. So refer AS 19. With this we completed initial recognition. Initial recognition is completed. Chalega. Correct. I'll take question at the end because question will cover all the points. So I can't take question in the between. Okay. Then subsequent recognition. Subsequent recognition means what? Once initial recognition is completed, we'll do subsequent recognition when? At each reporting date. Reporting date means what? Balance sheet date. Balance sheet date means what? 31st March. 31st March. For this, AS10 has given two options. What are the options? What are the options? Cost model or revaluation model. So cost model or revaluation model. As a choice, means entity may decide to opt cost model or may decide to opt revaluation model as per their choice. But this option is available class wise, not item wise. This option is available class wise. For example, land is one class. So we have land A, B, C, D. So can we opt cost model for land A and cost model revaluation model for land B? Not possible. Means if one item we have opted revaluation model, so each item under that class we need to opt what? Revaluation model. So the option is available class wise, not item wise. It means for land we can opt revaluation model and for building we can opt cost model as per the choice of entity. As per the choice of entity. Chalega. Now whenever cost model, then the carrying amount means in this case we are finding carrying amount at each reporting. That what is the carrying amount? Carrying amount is very simple. Cost price as we calculated at initial recognition, less accumulated depreciation, less accumulated impairment loss. Of course, I hope now you know about depreciation and impairment loss. Both are different. Depreciation will be calculated as per AS10 and impairment loss will be calculated as per AS28. Means impairment will discuss under AS28. Right now we will not discuss anything about impairment. How to calculate impairment loss will be discussed under AS28. Right now we'll discuss only about depreciation. So depreciation will discuss, and this amount will become carrying amount. This carrying amount will come in the balance sheet. So carrying amount means at what amount it will be carried in balance sheet. That become carrying amount. At what amount it will be carried in balance sheet, that amount become carrying amount. Revaluation model means we'll take fair value on revaluation date. Fair value on revaluation date. So that fair value will be given in the question. That fair value will be given in question. Less subsequent depreciation, subsequent accumulated depreciation, less subsequent impairment loss. So once revaluation done, so we'll do whatever subsequent accumulated depreciation deducted and subsequent impairment loss will be deducted. We'll take some example to understand this. But I hope you have understood what is the carrying amount under revaluation model. Means can I say for this to only when you discuss depreciation, but for this when you discuss everything, revaluation model. Whenever revaluation happen, what about revaluation gain or loss? So we'll discuss this as a separate topic, revaluation model. Revaluation model. One thing you understood, revaluation model is option available to the entity. That option is available class wise. Understood? Means can I say whenever you are doing revaluation, you will compare fair value with carrying amount, and any difference will be either gain or loss. Gain or loss. Means they can be either upward revaluation or downward revaluation, increase or decrease. So now we need to understand what is the accounting treatment of that revaluation gain or loss. So accounting treatment is very simple. Is very simple. So accounting treatment divided in two parts. One is first time revaluation, second is subsequent revaluation. Means any item of PP can be revalued n number of times. Can be revalued n number of times now. So first time revaluation, then subsequent revaluation. First time revaluation, because it is first time, any increase in the value of asset will be revaluation gain, and that revaluation gain will be transferred to revaluation surplus or reserve, whatever name you say. Means simple journal entry will be PP account debit to revaluation surplus. So here journal entry is PP account debit to revaluation surplus. But any loss due to conservatism principle, loss will be charged to PL account immediately. So what will be journal entry? PL, profit and loss account debit to PP. This will be journal entry. So gain will not be transferred to PL, but loss will be transferred to PL. Due to which principle? Conservatism. What conservatism says? Those who want to say, raise your hand. How can I understand who is saying? Those who want to say, raise your hand, then I will say like this. You want to say? Huh? Recognize all possible losses. Anything you want to add? Only this much. And do not anticipate any gain. Do not anticipate any gain. Which loss, which gain? Which loss, which gain? Future loss, future gain. Future loss, future gain. So can you see here we are discussing about future gain, future loss only. So future gain should not be recognized, and therefore it will not recognized to PL. It has been accumulated in revaluation surplus. So it means we are fulfilling the requirement of conservatism. So this journal entry is as per conservatism principle. But loss will be charged to profit and loss account immediately. Chalega? Yes, sir. Subsequent revaluation will depend upon previous revaluation. So you need to understand previously what you have done. Correct? So it means if previously upward, now also upward, then once again revaluation gain will be transferred to revaluation surplus. Once again your journal entry will be PP account debit to revaluation surplus. But previously upward, now downward. Previously upward means previously there was a gain. Now there is a loss. So this loss will be first adjusted with revaluation surplus to the extent available, and balance loss will be debited to PL. Rule is very simple. Means what will be journal entry in this case? Revaluation surplus account debit to the extent available, then PL account debit with the balancing figure to what? Property, plant and equipment. Chalega? Understood? Correct? Now, if previously downward, now again downward, previously loss, now again loss, what will be accounting treatment? Once again charge it to profit and loss account, revaluation loss will be debited to PL, PL account debit to P. but previously loss. Sorry, previously loss, now gain. Previously downward, now upward. So what we'll do? So any revaluation gain will first credited to PL to the extent of previous decrease. First credited to PL to the extent of previous decrease. Any balance gain will be transferred to revaluation surplus. Means can I say entire accounting treatment will be based on the information given in the question? Will it based on the information given in the question? Quite important. Can be asked in exam. But simple. Once you have understood any question, you can do. There is no need to practice. You need to only know this point. Correct? Understood? Understood? Let me take one example. Simple example I am taking. Simple. Suppose you purchase the land of rupees 1 lakh. Now land is not a depreciable asset. So intensely I have taken land because I don't want to go into depreciation right now. Okay? You purchase at rupees at Y0. Now at year end 1, the fair value become 1,20,000. But the gain of 20,000 will be transferred to what? Revaluation surplus. This revaluation surplus will be shown in the balance sheet under the head reserve and surplus. Under the head reserve and surplus. Okay. Then year 2, once again fair value. Now fair value become 90,000. But what you will do? So what is the loss? 30,000 is the loss. This 30,000 will be adjusted with revaluation surplus to the extent 20,000 will be adjusted with and balance PL how much debited? 10,000 will be debited to PL. Only this much. If there is depreciation, you should think about depreciation also. Okay? Means you need to compare with carrying amount. Carrying amount will be after depreciation. Carrying amount will be after depreciation. Okay, sir. But accounting remains same. Accounting remains same. Okay, sir. आगे चले. So not at all complicated, but important from exam point of view. A very good question I have for this, but I'll take at the end. Okay. Then accounting treatment of revaluation surplus. This is थोड़ा सा interesting. Now the question arises once the PP is revalued, what will do about revaluation surplus? So for the treatment of revaluation surplus, AS10 has given two options. Whenever option is given, so one option will be fair, one option will be easy. Easy in accounting. Always fair option is difficult to apply. For example, when I say cost model, revaluation model, which one is easy to apply? But which one is fair? Fair value model. Revaluation at fair value, that is only fair. So which one is fair? Fair is revaluation model, but application of revaluation model is thoda sa complicated. Therefore, they have given one option, means they are not making accounting complicated. If the accounting become complicated, then no one will apply it. And therefore, some easy accounting is also given. Understood? Similarly, here, revaluation surplus, they have given two options. One is easy, one is fair. Easy one is what? On derecognition of asset. On derecognition of asset means once the asset is sold. So on derecognition of asset, entire revaluation surplus will be transferred from revaluation surplus to revenue reserve. Means it will be, we'll close revaluation surplus account and we'll transfer that revaluation gain to which account? Revenue reserve. Revenue reserve means it can be general reserve, it can be any other revenue reserve. So what journal entry will do? Revaluation surplus will decrease to revenue reserve will increase. Means, can I say now it will be available for distribution of dividend? So once we have transferred to revenue reserve, means now it is available for distribution of dividend. Because now the asset is sold. Once it is sold, it becomes realized. Realized means now it is available for dividend distribution. Got this point? This was simple. So whenever question is silent, apply simple one only. Why to apply complicated one? But when question is specified, they will to apply this. In this case, what they say? Ki revaluation surplus, sunna. Try to listen whatever I am saying. Revaluation surplus will be transferred to revenue reserve, not on derecognition of asset. It will be transferred during its remaining useful life with an amount equal to additional depreciation. Means whenever there is a revaluation, can you see there will be some amount of additional depreciation? So with that amount of additional depreciation, every year some portion will be transferred to what? Revenue reserve. For example, try to understand this. Suppose this is the cost price of asset, 100 lakh. Useful life is 5 years, and we are doing SLM at Y1. But what is the depreciation? Depreciation is 20. What is the carrying amount? 80. And on this date we have done revaluation. And suppose revaluation is what? We'll compare with fair value. And suppose fair value is 120. 120. So what is the revaluation gain? How much will be transferred to revaluation surplus? 40. So what is the remaining useful life? 4 years. Remaining useful life is 4 years. Okay. So first year, second year, third year, fourth year. Means this is 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth year. Correct. Now can you say, now depreciation will charge of 120 to 80. 120 divided by how many year? 120 divided by 4, how much? It means now depreciation will be 30, 30, 30, 30. Means what is my additional depreciation? 10, 10, 10. 10, 10, 10. Means additional depreciation is what? 10, 10, 10. That too you are understanding? Means if there was no revaluation, the depreciation was 20. Due to revaluation, depreciation become 30. So what is the additional depreciation? 10. Correct? Understood. Now we are right now discussing about revaluation surplus. So what is the first option? You will not transfer anything यहाँ पर, will not transfer anything यहाँ पर, will not transfer anything यहाँ पर, will transfer entire 40 to what? Revenue reserve on derecognition of asset. Can you say at the end of useful life the asset will be derecognized? So entire 40 will be transferred to revaluation surplus on which date? On derecognition of asset, means at the end of year 5. This was the simple accounting. Simple accounting, you understood. Whenever question is silent, follow what? Simple accounting. But when question is specified, then you need to follow what? That second option. In second option, what they are saying? Ki every year an amount equal to additional depreciation will be transferred from revaluation surplus to revenue reserve. Means the first year how much will be transferred? Second year, third year, fourth year. Means ultimately how much we are transferring? 40. Means in the first, entire amount is transferred at the end of fifth year. In second, every year 10, 10 is transferred. Ultimately the effect in accounting remains same. Understood. So in this case, what journal entry we are doing? Revaluation surplus, account debit to revenue reserve. How much? 10, 10. Understood. Have you understood? Correct. Now I will ask one question to understand whether you have understood or not. Okay. This too you have understood. But let's see whether you have understood or not. Think and say, huh? My question to you all, out of this 30, depreciation is what? 30. So out of this 30, 20 is what? And 10 is what? My question to you, 20 will be transferred to PL or revaluation surplus? PL. And 10 will be transferred to PL or revaluation surplus? How many are saying both will be transferred to PL? How many are saying 20 will be transferred to PL and 10 will be transferred to revaluation surplus? Means one thing is clear, that I know where you can do mistake. So what I said, one second, listen. Those who have said wrong, I will not say who is wrong. Listen whatever I am saying. Huh? One second. What AS10 says, the revaluation surplus will be transferred to revenue reserve either on derecognition of asset, okay, or during its remaining useful life with an amount equal to additional depreciation. But we are transferring an amount of revaluation surplus to revenue reserve with an amount equal to what? Additional depreciation. Means in both cases, additional depreciation transferred to what? Additional. We are not doing accounting treatment depreciation. Depreciation to bachpan se where we have transferred. Depreciation anytime you have transferred to revaluation surplus? No. Depreciation will be charged to what? PL account. Means I am not teaching you accounting treatment depreciation. I am teaching you the accounting treatment revaluation surplus. And revaluation surplus in the second option will be transferred to revenue reserve during its remaining useful life with an amount equal to what? Additional depreciation. It does not mean additional depreciation will be transferred to revaluation surplus. Depreciation of whatever nature will be transferred to what? PL account. Understood? So when I say depreciation of whatever nature will be always transferred to what? PL. Understood is fine. I have understood. Chalega. I don't know. This is whether it will be asked or not asked, but with MCQs, all questions are now important. With multiple choice questions. But have you understood this point? Bolo. Chalega. But if question is silent, follow what? Easy one. If question is silent, always follow simple one. Okay? Chalo, done. Come to depreciation. Depreciation, nothing to teach. Only I will say some point. Depreciation, you know how to calculate. Depreciation will commence when the asset is ready for its intended use. And depreciation will cease when? Cease means when we will stop depreciation. Depreciation cease when the date when the asset is derecognized or when the asset retired from its active use and held for disposal. So sometime what happens? Asset is retired from active use and held for disposal. Means it is not yet sold. For example, I am using this laptop. But now laptop has been discarded. I am not using it. It is held for disposal, but till now not sold. Then also will stop charging what? Depreciation. Whichever is earlier. Means on derecognition or when it is held for disposal, whichever is earlier. Understood? Can be asked in multiple choice question. Okay? Do you know about component accounting for depreciation? For example, just try to understand. Suppose you purchase one plant and machinery. Plant for rupees 20 lakh. So what will be journal entry? Plant account debit to cash or bank. Now plant has 5 components: A, B, C, D, E. A, B, C, D, E. How many components? 5 components. Correct. And suppose this is 10 lakh, this is 5 lakh, this is 2 lakh, this is 2 lakh, this is 1 lakh. Total is what? 20 lakh. Correct. So can I say we can easily find out the cost of each component? And can I say useful life of each component may be different? Suppose the useful life of this is 10 years, this is 5 years, this is 20 years, this is again what? 7 years, or this is 2 years. Quite possible. So useful life of each component will be different. For example, in a car, engine will have a different useful life and the body of car will have a different useful life. So should we depreciate entire cost as per the same useful life? No. So what our AS 10 say that we need to find out each component with having significant cost and each component having different useful life should be depreciated separately. Can I say this also will depend upon the information given the question? If they have given this component segregation, then only we can do it. Otherwise, we'll assume each component have same useful life. If nothing has been given, what assumption will take? Each component have same useful life. But this type of information has been given, so each component will be depreciated separately. This is known as component accounting. Component accounting. Chalega? Yes, sir. Understood. So I will say this you can do as per the information given in the question. Residual value, you know, depreciable amount. Depreciable amount means what? Cost minus residual value. You know about residual value? So residual value will not be depreciated. If the cost is 10 lakh, residual value is 1 lakh, so your depreciable amount is 9 lakh. Similarly, in case of revaluation model, your depreciable amount will be fair value minus residual value. Chalega? Useful life will be given the question. Depreciation method. How many methods are there? Depreciation method, either straight line method or diminishing balance method or reducing balance method or production unit method. So there are 3 methods: SLM, RBM and PUM. We call it SLM or RBM. RBM means reducing balance method or PUM, production unit method. Can I say this you are expert? I am not teaching you SLM formula, RBM formula and PUM. This you can do it. Am I correct or not? Bola re, because entire foundation you have done this only, depreciation calculation. So I am assuming that you know depreciation calculation, and that will be also as per the information given in the question. Got this point? Yes, sir. Correct. Then can I say in depreciation, whenever you are calculating depreciation, there are three factors. One is useful life, one is residual value, and one is depreciation method. Based on these three factors, we calculate depreciation. Based on these three factors, we calculate depreciation: useful life, residual value, and depreciation method. Correct. And can I say there can be some changes in this during the useful life? Means useful life might change, residual value might change, or depreciation method might change. Means initially you estimated that useful life is 10 years, but after 2 years your estimation changed. Quite possible not. So we call it changes in accounting estimate. We call it what? Changes in accounting estimate. Means all these three are changes in accounting estimate. And for changes in accounting estimate, we go to AS5. AS5 deals with changes in accounting estimate. And AS5 says that accounting will be done on prospective basis or retrospective basis. Prospective basis. So whenever there is changes in useful life, residual value, or depreciation method, accounting will be done on prospective basis. Prospective basis means from a date of change. From a date of change. Okay, sir. Let me give you one example. So this is Y0. Cost price is equal to 10 lakh. Residual value is equal to 1 lakh. And depreciation method is SLM. And useful life is 10 years. Correct? Y1 no changes, Y2 no changes, Y3 changes happened. And now useful life has been changed from 10 year to 15 year. 10 year to 15 year. Okay? Understood? And residual value has been changed from 1 lakh to how much you want? 2 lakh. Anything? Okay? Understood the question? Now normally students are confused about this information. My question to you all, the revised depreciation will be calculated for year 3 ki year 4? Here only lot of doubt is there. Year 3 ki year 4? Means first year depreciation no doubt, second year depreciation no doubt. That will be based on this information. Are bolna re? First year depreciation will be what? 10 lakh minus 1 lakh, 9 lakh divided means 90,000. Second year also 90,000. Now the question is third year depreciation will be based on old information or new information? Old information, new. This is only doubt. So how many are saying third year depreciation based on old information? How many are saying third year depreciation based on new information? This is new information, this is old information. So how many are saying third year depreciation based on old information? Are you able to understand my emotions? What I am asking? First, are you able to understand my emotions? So how many are saying third year depreciation based on old information? Means balance is saying new information. So how many are saying that depreciation of third year will be based on new information? But everyone is not raising hand. Means confusion is there. Old or new? This is Y3 na. Huh? This is at the end of the year. Acha, you are asking at Y3 means at, you know FM na? FM means Y3 means what? Year end 3. If you know FM, you can understand my emotion. We write Y3. Whenever I am writing Y3 means at the end of the year. Okay? Bola. At the end of third year, this information came. At the end of third year, this information came. How many are saying old? How many are saying new? Those who are saying new, can you explain why? Excellent. Excellent. Means I was just checking whether he know concept or ऐसे ही मजा आ रहा है. So this means 100% correct. When this type of answer comes, means we say he is a chartered accountant. He is a, don't think otherwise, you are also chartered accountant. But whenever this type of answer comes, means he is a chartered accountant. We think he will become, pakka he will become. But time he will decide. Time to you will decide when to become. Okay? So 100% for the depreciation we calculate at the end of the year, at the beginning of the year. And this information came when? So this information known at the end of the year to use this information. And why we have this information? Why we have this information? To calculate depreciation only. Understood? And therefore, third year information, third year depreciation will be now how much? 10 lakh minus 90 how much? 10 lakh minus 90, 1 lakh 80 bolo na yaar. You have calculator now. I don't have calculator. 8 lakh 20,000 minus what? What is the remaining useful life? What is the remaining useful life? 15 minus 10. How many year expired? 15 minus 2. This becomes the revised depreciation of third year. Got this point? Now I'll change the information. Can I change the information? Now you will say, think and say, this is 100% correct. Now I am changing the information, apply your common sense. Okay? Similar information has been given. Sometimes we need to respect the information given in the question. This is practically correct, but we need to also respect the information given in the question. Now what they have given? 1/4/2019, 1/4/2020, 1/4/2021, 1/4/2022. This is beginning of the year. Means now I am just giving information at the beginning of the year. Okay? What they have given? Initially 10 lakh is the cost price. Useful life is 10 year. Residual value is 1 lakh. SLM. Means here 90,000 is the depreciation. Here also 90,000 is the depreciation. Now at the beginning of, means on 1/4/2022, at the beginning of fourth year, means na, at the beginning of fourth year, remaining useful life is 13 year. Batao, this depreciation, third year depreciation based on old information, new information? Old information. Because at the beginning of the year information given, means third year depreciation is calculated as per old information, not as per new information. It means sometimes we need to respect the information given in the question also. Both are similar question, but lot of confusion. And here only students suffer. They understood depreciation calculation, but they are not able to understand the information given in the question. So we need to also understand the information given in the question. Understood? Aage chale. Now you can do any questions. Okay, sir? Okay, sir. This also done. Depreciation, there is nothing to teach. Land and building. Now, whenever you purchase land and building, you all know land is not a depreciable asset, but building is a depreciable asset. It means we need to separate land component and building component, and building will be depreciated as per the useful life of building, as per the information given in the question. Now, sometimes land may have also some component which have limited useful life. For example, dismantling cost, restoration cost. Correct now. So there might be some component of land which may have some limited useful life. Let me take one example. You purchase the land. Now you have done some improvement on land. The improvement cost will be capitalized. So you purchase the land of rupees 1 crore and capitalize improvement cost of 20 lakh. The total cost become how much? 1 crore 20 lakh. And every 5 years you need to do improvement. It means 20 lakh, the improvement cost has a useful life of what? 5 years. It means that cost of improvement need to be depreciated for how many years? 5 years. So there might be some component of land which might be depreciable. But I know this type of question they will never ask in exam. This is practical questions. Practical. In exam though they will not ask this type of question. But if asked, you should know what will be the answer. Okay, sir? Correct. Then subsequent cost incurred after initial recognition. Now subsequent cost means what? Initial recognition done, asset is ready for its intended use. Then when you are using the asset, there might be some subsequent cost on PP. So there are normally 4 types of such cost. One is known as day-to-day servicing cost. Second is known as replacement cost or major inspection cost. Replacement cost or major inspection cost. The replacement cost can be one and major inspection cost can be second, third. So there are 3. Okay. And the last one is what? Expense which increase the life or efficiency of the asset beyond the originally asset life or efficiency cost. Means I will say any expansion cost. Any expansion cost. For example, this is a building and we have done some renovation in that. So that become a renovation cost. Correct? This is not replacement. This is not major inspection cost. This become renovation cost. Okay, understood? So day-to-day servicing cost, replacement cost of major inspection cost. Major inspection cost in CA Inter they will not ask major inspection cost, but I will explain what is major inspection cost. But replacement cost you have understood. One component is now damaged, so that component will be replaced by a new component. For example, this is a projector. In projector we have a lens and lens require replacement. So you replace projector, you replace lens. The projector is not replaced. When projector is replaced means old asset is derecognized and new asset you purchase. But when lens is replaced, so it is the component of that item of PP got replaced. So that become replacement cost. That become replacement cost. Understood? Now day-to-day servicing cost will be always charged to profit and loss account as an expense. It will never be capitalized. It will never be capitalized. But replacement and this expense which increase the efficiency of that asset beyond its originally asset efficiency will be always capitalized. So renovation cost will be always capitalized. Renovation cost will be always capitalized. So I think in this no doubt. Doubt will come for replacement cost. The replacement cost will be capitalized or charged to profit and loss account as an expense. In normal circumstances from exam point of view, it will be always capitalized. But practically what our AS10 says that apply recognition criteria. Whether it is probable that future economic benefit will flow or cost can be measured reliably or not. If these two conditions are satisfied, capitalized, otherwise charged to PL account. Means from exam point of view, any replacement cost will be capitalized because they will frame that type of questions only. Correct? Now, this accounting treatment is very, very important. There is one question also based on that. That question I think have been asked in exam also, can be repeated. So, what is the accounting treatment? Suppose this is one plant having 3 components A, B, C. Has 20 lakh, 30 lakh, 50 lakh cost price. And the useful life is 10 year, 15 year, 20 year. So this will be depreciated based on 10 year. This will be depreciated based on 15 year. This will be depreciated based on 20 year. Now after 5 years, the component A require replacement. Quite possible. It means can I say you can find out a carrying amount of component A after 5 years. After depreciation. So what is the carrying amount of component A? Bata? Is 20 lakh into 5 by 10. So 10 lakh is the depreciation. So 20 minus 10. So 10 lakh is the carrying amount. So 10 lakh is the carrying amount. And the cost of new replacement is 15 lakh. Cost of new replacement is 15 lakh. In this case, what will be the accounting treatment? So what our AS10 says that any cost of new replacement will be added. And the carrying amount of the replaced part, this old part will be derecognized. So we'll deduct what? Carrying amount of old part. We'll add what? Cost price of new component. But can you say for this you need to work out? This you need to calculate. This will not be given in the question. You need to calculate that. Means in this they will ask component accounting also. Then replacement accounting also, and therefore this is important from exam point of view. Now in one of the question what happened, whatever question is given in ICAI study material, that question, similar question was asked in exam also. They have not given the bifurcation of this. In that case, what we'll do, we'll take one question of that nature. I think that question I have in expected list also. Let me take that question right now. You know about that question? And you go to expected question. Right now, you are not supposed to go to Telegram channel. Right now, you can see the projector. Okay? Okay, sir. AS10, AS10, AS10. Achha, I have not taken that question because that question was already asked. But I will take from my book. Chal, I'll take from the book. But that book I don't have now. Chalo, I'll frame that question. What was the question? I will explain. Can be repeated this type of questions. This is Y0. Y0 means at the beginning of first year. Okay? You purchase a machine of rupees 1 crore. Yeah, write down 10 lakh. Better. Small amount. 10 lakh. Everyone write down the question. Okay? Useful life is what? 10 years. And method of depreciation is SLM. Correct? And after 6 years, after 6 years, there is one old component of this machinery which got replaced with what? New component. Understood? There is one component of that machine which got replaced with new component. After how many years? 6 years. And the cost price of new component is equal to 4,50,000. How much? 4,50,000. Correct? And they have given in this question discounting rate is equal to 10%. Discounting rate is 10%. This was the question. And then they have asked what will be the carrying amount of machinery after replacement. You remember this question? There is one question of this nature. Already asked in CA Inter exam. ICAI module. All questions from ICAI module only. Question will come from ICAI module. थोड़ा सा इधर, थोड़ा सा उधर. But it will be of ICAI study material, including RTP, MTP. Now, in this question, what is not given? You can see the bifurcation of this component wise is not given. Understood? It means we can't find out the carrying amount of old part. And therefore, what AS10 says, whenever you don't know the cost price of the component replaced, means you can't find out carrying amount of component replaced. Therefore, we'll use the cost price of new component as an indication to find out what? Cost price of old component. So can you see, if the cost price of new component after 6 years is 4,50,000, so what can be the cost price of old component at the beginning of first year? We'll use discounting factor and we can find out. So what will be the cost price of old component? Batao. It will be 4,50,000 into present value factor at a rate of 10% for how many years? 6 years. You can find out. Can you give me what is the rate? First give me discounting factor 0.5644. Now multiply with 5644 only. ठीक है, बता कितना? 2,50,000 3,980. Understood? So this become the cost price of old component. Have you understood? Now we can find out carrying amount of old component by charging depreciation at a rate of, I mean, as per the useful life 10 year. So we'll find out a carrying amount of old component, that will be 2,53,980. Correct now? Minus 2,53,980 depreciation for how many years? 6 years. So 6 by 10. How much it is coming? 1,52,388. I am assuming that whatever you are giving, that is correct. You have not given depreciation, you have given carrying amount. Okay. This is what? I have asked what? So I have asked carrying amount, you are giving depreciation to me. Don't give me carrying amount. Don't give me depreciation. I want carrying amount. Carrying amount, this minus this, how much? 1,01,000. This is correct now. So I asked carrying amount, you are giving depreciation to me. I want carrying amount. This becomes the carrying amount of old part. Correct? It means now we want carrying amount of entire machine after replacement. That was the requirement. So can you give me what is the carrying amount of entire machinery after 6 years? That will be 10 lakh minus what? Minus 6 lakh depreciation. So that become 4 lakh. Bolo yes or no? What is the carrying amount of entire machinery at the end of 6th year? 10 lakh minus 6 lakh? 4 lakh na? If you charge depreciation on this 10 lakh for 10 years, and we need to calculate depreciation 6 years, it will be 6 lakh or not? So 10 lakh minus 6 lakh, how much? हाँ तो minus करेंगे ना. Now this 4 lakh include this. So we'll minus what? Minus 1 lakh 1,592 and plus what? 4,50,000 will be added. This will become the carrying amount of the asset after what? Replacement. After replacement. Whatever answer is coming. But have you understood the process? Very good question or not? Ultimate question. Already asked in exam. Already asked in exam. Understood this point? Chalega? Okay. Can be repeated. Can be again repeated. If you have understood subsequent cost, done. Now simple question you can do. This was one interesting question. Have you understood? Anyone who have not understood the discounting factor, why we have calculated present value? You ask me na? Ask me. Understood? My thoda sa handwriting, because this is fast class now, I am writing fast. Huh? So I will write good. My handwriting is very good, excellent. If fast class na, try to understand emotions. Okay? Chalega? Or I will write slow. Chalega na? Then slow, then I will require 10 days. Okay? Okay, sir. Chalo. With this, most of the concept of AS10 has been completed. Now let us do the balance concept. This note is for that question only. If it is not possible to determine the carrying amount of replaced part, cost of replacement will be used as an indication of cost of replaced part, which was at a time when it was acquired. Understood the sentence? This is as per AS10 only. Now impairment loss, next point, as per AS28, impairment loss will discuss under AS28. Okay? Retirement, what AS10 says that whenever PP is retired but not yet sold, retired from active use but held for disposal but not yet sold, then it will be measured at carrying amount or NRB, whichever is lower. Means at that point of time it will be measured at carrying amount you know, or net realizable value. NRB means what? Expected selling price minus any expected selling expense. That become NRV. So we'll compare these two, and any difference will be charged to what? Profit and loss account, whatever. So if carrying amount is suppose 1 lakh, NRV is 90,000. So it will be subsequently measured at what? 90,000, and 10,000 will be transferred to profit and loss account. But suppose carrying amount is 1 lakh and NRB is 1 lakh 10,000, then it will measure at what? 1 lakh only, and there will be no subsequent write down. Okay, sir. So whichever is lower, just like inventory, Then last, derecognition. Once the asset derecognized, so we'll calculate gain or loss on derecognition, and gain or loss on derecognition will be also transferred to PL. Gain or loss on derecognition will be also transferred to PL. How to calculate gain or loss? First, calculate sale proceed. From that, minus any cost of disposal. Cost of disposal means any brokerage commission paid, that you deduct. That will become net sale proceed. From that, deduct net carrying amount of the asset sold. The difference will be gain or loss, which will be transferred to PL. Done. This type of question so you can do by rote. Okay? Understood? Okay, sir. Okay? Now, AS10 is not applicable to what? AS10 is not applicable to biological asset. You know about biological asset? Biological asset means living animal and plant. So living animal and plant means suppose cow. So for cow, AS10 is not applicable. Okay? So any biological asset other than bearer plant. So any bearer plant, AS10 will be applicable. This might be important for multiple choice question. So bearer plant is a plant, living plant only, but for that AS10 is applicable. But apart from bearer plant, to any other plant or any other animal, AS10 is not applicable. So it means now we need to understand what is the meaning of bearer plant. So bearer plant are those living plant which satisfy 3 conditions. How many conditions? 3 conditions. How many conditions? So any living plant which satisfy how many conditions? 3 conditions will become bearer plant, and for that which AS is applicable? AS10. Only this much we need to understand, and these 3 conditions. First, it is used in production or supply of agriculture produce, which is used to supply or produce agricultural produce. Second, which is expected to bear produce for more than one period, And last, has a remote likelihood of being sold as an agriculture produce, means the plant itself is not an agriculture produce. A simple example, if I will say, if you know mango tree, so this is mango tree. So mango tree has mango, correct? So बताओ, first condition is satisfied or not? Can I say this is used to supply or produce what agriculture produce means mango? It is expected to produce mango for more than one period, and this plant itself is not an agriculture produce. Therefore, it is what? A bearer plant, and for this AS10 will be applicable. But if I say annual crop is rice, maize, etc. So can I say first condition will be satisfied, but it is expected to be produced for less than 1 year. Therefore, it is not a bearer plant, and therefore AS10 is not applicable. Understood? Chalega? And all animals, whatever animal, AS10 is not applicable. Got this point? So this MCQs can be important for multiple choice question. Second, it is also not applicable to any vesting asset. Vesting asset means any mineral resources, etc. For example, you have purchased a coal mine. So coal mine is a vesting asset. For that also AS10 is not applicable. Even though that is used to extract coal, but that is for that accounting standard 10 is not applicable. So one is biological asset, second vesting asset. AS10 is not applicable. But for bearer plant, AS10 is applicable. Done. Disclosure you can read by your own. Disclosure is not so much important from CA inter point of view. Okay. Correct. There is one more point, but I will take that part after taking some question. Let's see whether you are able to do questions or not. Come to question number 6. You will do, don't read the solution. Huh? Don't read the solution. Entity A exchange Land with a book value of rupees 10 lakh. 10 lakh is what? Book value. For cash 20 lakh and plant and machinery valued at 25 lakh. So entity exchange land. Land is given up or received? Land is given up or received? Given up. Book value given means given up. That is the asset already held. Okay. So land is exchanged for a cash of 20 lakh and plant and machinery of 25 lakh. Means what is received? Plant and machinery is received. What will be the measurement cost of the asset received? Means what is the cost price of plant and machinery? Batao. बोलो. बताओ. We need to find out cost price of. We need to find out cost price of what? What is received? What is the new asset? Plant and machinery. There are a lot of confusion. If you are not good in English, then the confusion. So just try to. What is given up? What is given up? Land is given up. So land is a asset which is exchanged, which is given up for a new asset. New asset is what? So we need to find out cost price of new asset or old asset. New asset, whatever is acquired. To be acquired, cost price of plant and what is the first preference? Fair value of what is asset given up? Whether fair value of land is given. मजा आ रहा है ना, मजा आ रहा है. बताओ 10 लाख इज बुक वैल्यू की फेयर वैल्यू? 10 lakh is book value ki fair value? Book value. But what I want, so whether it is given in the question, therefore can't be applied. Second preference, fair value of plant and machinery, whether it is given. How much given? 25 lakh. Listen, whether we'll do adjustment of cash? No. So what is the answer? Plant and machinery account debited how much? And how much cash received? What is given up? So what is the gain? 2 marks question or 5 marks question, whether you will get full out of full or not. If we know the content, you do multiple questions, nothing will happen. Multiple question will not help. Content will help. If you know the content, you can answer. Now one more question. Think and say. Entity exchange a car X with a book value of 13 lakh and a fair value of 13 lakh 25,000 for cash of rupees 15,000 and car Y. Car Y is a new asset which is a fair value of 13 lakh 10,000. The transaction lacks commercial substance. Oh, the transaction lacks commercial substance. But whether fair value information relevant? No. What is relevant? Carrying amount. It means what is the cost price of new car? Carrying amount of asset given up. Which asset given up? X. Car X given up. Plus minus cash adjustment. Plus minus cash adjustment. What is the carrying amount? Whether cash is paid or received? Carrying amount is 13 lakh na? Cash is paid or received? English you read, I will not read. Paid or received? Everyone saying received na? Have confidence. Receive is correct. Receive is correct. So plus ki minus? Minus. Minus how much? 15,000. What is the answer? 12 lakh 85,000. So देखो car Y 12 lakh 80,000. How much cash received? 15,000. To car X 13 lakh. And there is no gain, no loss. So whenever transaction lacks commercial substance, there will be no gain, no loss. If gain or loss is coming, it means you are doing mistake. So whenever transaction lacks commercial substance, or whenever you have used carrying amount of the asset given up, there will be no gain, no loss. If gain or loss is coming, it means you are doing some mistake. And so good question can be asked for multiple choice question. Correct? Question 18. ABC Limited is installing a new plant at its production facility, it has incurred the following costs. You will say capitalized, not capitalized. Cost of plant, cost per supplier invoice plus taxes. But 25 lakh will be capitalized, not capitalized. Capitalized. Correct? Capitalized. Initial delivery and handling cost. Capitalized. Cost of site preparation. Capitalized. Consultant used for advice on acquisition of the plant. Capitalized. Interest charges paid to supplier of plant for deferred credit. Deferred settlement terms. If nothing is given, I have said what? Interest on deferred settlement basis means when it is paid beyond normal credit period. If nothing is given, it will be charged to PL or capitalized as per AS 16. Charged to PL. It will be charged to PL. Estimated dismantling cost to be incurred after 7 years. Present value, but if nothing is given, will capitalize, will not capitalize. But there are 2 points now. Either it will be capitalized or it will not be capitalized. It will be capitalized at present value. But if discounting factor is not given, then what you will do? You will assume this is only what? Present value. Common sense now. Nothing is given, we'll assume this is only what? Present value, and the entire 3 lakh will be capitalized. Operating losses before commercial production. Any operating losses? So operating loss will be incurred once the asset is used or not used. After the asset is used, it is the losses incurred when the asset is ready for use. It will never be capitalized. It will never be capitalized. Only these are the 4 items which will be capitalized, and this become your answer. Check. This type of question can be asked for 2 marks or 5 marks. 2 marks means multiple choice question. 5 marks means show the calculation. Okay. This is also a good question. So now, Kanda acquired a machinery of 2 crore 50 lakh 5 years ago. Whenever this type of para format questions करना, start drawing timeline. Because when you read the question, you will forget. It is 5 years, 6 years, depreciation after how many years. Start drawing timeline. Initially, it was acquired for how many years? Useful life is 5 years. What is the cost? Write down at Y0, useful life is 5 years. Okay. 5 years ago, sorry, my mistake. It was acquired 5 years ago. My mistake. Depreciation was charged at 10% per annum on SLM basis. Okay. Useful life being is how much? 10 years. At the beginning of year 3, at the beginning of year 3, beginning of year 3, end of year 3 and beginning of year 3, 2 different terms. At the beginning of year 3 means 2 years has been expired. The machinery was revalued to 3 crore. Okay. With the surplus of revaluation being credited to revaluation reserve. Okay, sir, we know this point. It has been revalued to 3 crore, means this is fair value given. So you need to find out revaluation gain. Okay. Depreciation was provided on the revalued amount over the balance useful life is 8 years. Means that at the beginning of 3rd year, what is the remaining useful life? 8 years. It will be 8 years only, 10 minus 2, 8 years only. 10 minus 2, 8 years only, na? Are bolna re? The machinery was sold in the current year. Current year means after 5 years, because it is given what? 5 years ago. For rupees itna. So this has been sold at itna. Means it is derecognized. Derecognized. Give the accounting treatment for the above in company account. What will be treatment if the machinery fetch only? Means they have asked 2 points. If it is sold at itna, what is gain or loss? If it is sold at itna, what is gain or loss? Understood? Now only need to avoid calculation mistake. Normally we do calculation mistake. We have understood. So I am just giving you 2 minutes. You give me gain or loss for this first case. 2 minutes. Do calculation. What is the break timing? I don't know. You want break at what time? Lunch break or what break? Huh? Oh, so 2 ho gaya. We'll take break after this. Okay. 50 minutes I will teach, then break. Today, thoda sa, because I came late na. Okay. I am also feeling hungry. So what I am saying now, whenever this type of questions karna, why you do mistake, I am saying. When you are reading the question, I just draw like this. You will never do mistake. It will take 1 minute extra, but it will save your 5 marks. It will take 1 minute extra, but it will save your 5 marks. ठीक है ना. तो it is Y0. What is the cost price? 2 crore 50 lakh. What is the total useful life? SLM RBM. SLM. Then after means at the beginning of 2 year means at the end of year 2 means beginning of year 3. तो यहाँ लिख दो beginning of year 3. What happened? Revaluation happened. And what is the fair value given? 3 crore given. 3 crore given. Then at the end of year 5, it was sold at what price? Sale price how much? First case. It was sold at what price? Actually, you don't have question. Sorry, my mistake. It was sold at 1 crore 12 lakh 50,000. 1 crore 12 lakh 50,000. Once you have written this, now you will never do mistake. Because only mistake happen in depreciation calculation. In exam, there small mistake quite happen because we are totally under pressure. And whenever we are under pressure, we will not perform well. So we should avoid small mistake. But what is the cost price? 2 crore 50 lakh. First, we'll calculate depreciation for how many years? So less accumulated depreciation, how much? It will be divided by 10 into 2. Divide by 10. So it is 50 lakh. So what is the carrying amount? Carrying amount before revaluation? 2 crore. Now revaluation happened. Compare with fair value. How much? 3 crore. So there is a revaluation gain. How much? 1 crore is the revaluation gain. 1 crore is the revaluation gain. First part over. ठीक है? Understood? Now, what is the fair value? Means what is the carrying amount at the beginning of Y3? At the beginning of Y3, 3 crore now. Correct? We'll charge depreciation for how many years now? Remaining 8 years. But this is how many years? Remaining 8 years. But this is Y2 to Y5 how many years? Here, that I am asking. We'll charge depreciation for next 3 years. Next year. So minus accumulated depreciation. What will do? 3 crore. Divide by what? 8. Into what? 3 is equal to how much? 1 crore. 12 crore 50,000. Correct. So what is the carrying amount at the end of year 5? 87 lakh 50,000. Now they have given two cases. Case 1 and case 2. Case 2, what is the sale proceed? They have given 1 crore. 1 crore 12 lakh 50,000. Na? 1 crore 12 lakh 50,000. And what is the carrying amount? 1 crore 87 lakh 50,000. So what is the loss? 75 lakh. In this there is a loss of 75 lakh. Okay. Easy. Then second case, what is the sale proceed? Second case they have given what will be treatment in the machinery fetch only 42 lakh 50,000. So sale proceed is 42 lakh 50,000. Carrying amount is what? 1 crore 87 lakh 50,000. What is the loss? 1 crore 42 lakh 1 crore 40 1 crore 45 lakh is the loss. Understood? I'm coming to that. Calculation, any doubt? Calculation, any doubt? First, step by step, don't jump. First, have you understood calculation part? Correct. Now you will say, what is the accounting treatment of this revaluation gain? In both situations, you have two options. Either revaluation gain will be transferred to retained revenue reserve on derecognition basis in entire amount, or it can be transferred with an amount equal to additional depreciation. I have said with the question is silent, what you do? Simple one. Let's see what solution they have done. Before that, let me ask you one question. whether this loss can be adjusted with revaluation surplus. Yes or no? How many are saying yes? How many are saying no? How many are saying no? How many are saying no? Everyone saying yes. Chalo. Open derecognition wala point says what is written in the AS table. Gain and loss will be transferred to PL or what? The last concept what I have done, derecognition. Whether it is given gain and loss will be adjusted with revaluation surplus. What is given? Gain and loss will be transferred to what? PL. I have not said it will be adjusted with revaluation surplus. Means now you are applying your own method. Means if you have a doubt, that time you should ask me now. We said on derecognition gain or loss will be transferred to PL. I have said that only. I have never said it will be adjusted. Treatment of revaluation surplus only we have discussed. On derecognition of asset, entire revaluation surplus will be transferred to revenue reserve. I have never said it will be adjusted with loss. Whether I have said, whether AS10 said no, so this loss will be entirely transferred to what? PL. And revaluation surplus, if you have opted the first one, the revaluation surplus entirely will be transferred to what? Revenue reserve. Revenue reserve. Understood? If you have opted first one. Got this point? Are bolna re? Understood? So what the answer? Let's see. They have done first one or second one. You can see loss is how much? 75 lakh. And in this case, how much loss? 1. Our answer is correct. You can say revaluation surplus directly transfer retained earning or revenue reserve. Entire amount is transferred. If question is silent, what they have followed? Simple one. What I have said? Simple one. Understood? Correct? And they have written no note. So whenever question is silent, always apply simple one from exam point of view. So what we have understood, apply AS10 concept. But the question is, solution is important or content is important? Content. So if you read solution, you'll forget. You need to revise content. Loss, gain and loss on derecognition will never be adjusted with revaluation surplus. It will be always transferred to PL. And revaluation surplus on derecognition will be transferred where? Revenue reserve. Revaluation surplus on derecognition will be transferred where? Revenue reserve. Simple one. There is one pair wala approach. If they ask, so you need to apply that. Means suppose in the question they have given, they have opted to transfer revaluation surplus with an amount equal to additional depreciation during the useful life of the asset, then you should apply that. Let's say, suppose they have asked that, only for your understanding. So what will be the additional depreciation? Additional depreciation, very simple. Revaluation surplus, what is the revaluation surplus? 1 crore divided by remaining useful life. What is the remaining useful life? 8. So what is the additional depreciation? 12 lakh 50,000. 12 lakh 50,000. So can you say year 3, year 4, year 5? 12 lakh 50,000 will be transferred to revenue reserve from which account? So can you say year 3, year 4, year 5? This much will be transferred from revaluation surplus revenue reserve. What is the balance available? 1 crore minus this. What is the balance available in revaluation surplus? How much? 62 lakh. This will be now entirely transferred revenue reserve on derecognition of the asset. Understood this mind? But this you will do only when they have asked. Otherwise, don't do. In CA intern, normally I have seen they are not asking this part. Normally I am saying, I don't know what will happen in your exam. So if question is silent, always follow simple one. Understood? Okay. So some question I have done. So what I have explained with this particular question, if you know the content, you can do it. This is one very good question. You do it by your own. If any doubt, we'll discuss. Very good question. Do it by your own. This is one of the questions which is not yet asked in exam. So you do by your own. Then refer solution. If you have understood your mistake, okay. If you have not understood, then I will do. Okay. Then this also you do this. Achha, this was that question only which I have taken now. That cost, replacement cost. So that is the same question. You can do it by your own now. This also you can do it by your own. but all these are expected questions from my point of view. AS10 is completed from my point of view. AS10, each and every point I have covered. Let me ask 2 questions, then we'll take break. Let's see. Suppose these questions come, apply your common sense, because I have not done this point in class intentionally. Now apply your. So if suppose I have not done one point because I have limitation of time, I have limited time now, because you have not given me 180 hours. You give me 180 hours, I will teach you everything. So you can't blame me in exam. Can you blame me? So apply what? Common sense. I will ask 2 questions. Let's see how you are reacting. And 90% of the student will say correct if you have confidence on your answer. I am confident about you. Are you confident about your answer? Both questions have been asked in exam. Sorry, one question have been asked in exam, one question may be asked in exam. Okay? Suppose, what was the question? Question was that they have purchased one asset at rupees 10 lakh. Understood? And this become the cost price, and the residual value of this asset is 12,50,000. Understood? They purchase at what price? And the residual value is what? What is the depreciation of first year? What is depreciation? It become negative now. 10 lakh minus 12,50,000. Useful life I have not given. I will give 10 years. So divide by 10. So what is the depreciation? You will not reverse something. Depreciation 0. Hello, you are correct only. This was one exam question. Super easy question. But I have not discussed this point now. It is understood point. Why to discuss? Why to waste our time? Understood point now. Correct? One more question. Now apply your common sense. This question is not yet asked. Okay? We have understood DRSL. Suppose we created one DRSL. DRSL means that provision. So what journal entry we have done? PP account debit to provision. 1 lakh. We have done this journal entry. Now what our AS29 says that this need to be reassessed at the end of each year. So 1 lakh might, the amount might change. Either it might increase or decrease. Okay? Now after 2 years, 3 years, either there will be increase in liability or decrease in liability. Either 1 lakh become 1 lakh 20,000 or 1 lakh become 80,000. Apply your common sense. What is the journal entry for this 20,000? First, increase in liability. What you will do? What will be journal entry of this 20? Think and say, thoda sa. It is not yet asked and I have not yet done. Means initially you have capitalized it. Now 1 lakh become 1 lakh 20,000 due to some reassessment. And of course, because it was an estimated amount, it might change. Estimated amount might change now. Understood? So this 20,000, what you will do? 2 answers I am getting. First is PP account debit to provision. Second is PL account debit to provision. How many are saying PL account debit to provision? How many are saying PP account debit to provision? So PP account debit to provision is correct. I am not happy about those students who are not answering any of this. I am happy if you are giving wrong answer. I am not happy if you are not giving any answer. So if you are not responding, means you don't want to write exam only. I will say in any given situation you score 50 marks, and 50 marks will come only when you write something. So write, whether you know or whether you don't know, write something. It is quite possible you are getting correct. Okay, sir. In this, what will happen? Batao. Decrease in liability, what you will do? Huh? Decrease in liability, what you will do? Means reduce asset ki transfer to PL. Reduce asset ki transfer to PL. Means you will decrease the cost price of the asset or you will transfer this 20,000 to PL. Decrease the cost price of asset. Correct only. But from my point of view, they will not go to this extent in CA Inter because there are something for CA final also. Okay? But this is also covered in AS10. AS10, there is one point which I have not touched intentionally because I know it is not so much important. But you can't blame me if this question is asked. Why? Because this is also part of AS10 and I don't have that much time to teach everything. Yes or no? So in some chapter, quite possible, I'm not saying any point because of limitation of point. So from my point of view, that part is not so much important from exam point of view. But if questions come from that point, you can't blame me. You can't blame me. So this one, I'm just showing that intensely I have not done that point. It is given changes in cost price that you read by your own. Okay. AS10 is covered from my point of view. We'll take a break. Break of how many minutes? It is 1 hour break. I don't know how many minutes. 1 hour to 1 hour break. After 1 hour meet. Today, can we take 45-minute break? From tomorrow, we'll take 1 hour break. 45-minute break. Okay. And today, I will try to extend 1 hour. Only for today. Okay.